Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Worldwide Wrestling Online. My name is Peter Hartnell, and I will be your creative for today. Why don't we quickly go around the table and introduce ourselves, starting with young Stan up there in my top left.
Nice to be called young. I'm actually quite an old Stan. I'm Stanley Greyheart Barker, and I am Thunderpants.
All right, and James?
I'm James, also known as Laughing at Salad, and there's really not much else to introduce at the moment.
Who are you playing today, James?
My character is Max Gold, a technical wrestler from Springfield, Massachusetts.
I'm sorry that your intro was massively upstaged by a small doggy.
There is a dog on the screen. No, I can't really. I can't really
Well, we're all living our best lives. How about Matt? Could you introduce yourself to the folks at home?
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing the Centurion, a heavyweight golden boy.
Ooh, I love it. And last but not least, competing with is that Thor or Loki?
This is Loki.
Competing with Loki for the hairiest. It's Piers.
Hi, I'm Piers. Hello. I am going tonight to be this morning even to be playing for you Spencer Warden Baron, the golden boy of wrestling, who is a wealthy investment banker born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Not a golden one.
No. It's just far too gauche.
So we're gonna open things up with. Can someone give me a suggestion for an opening theme for the second episode of Worldwide Wrestling? What kind of music do you think would be appropriate?
Is there a theme tune?
There will be.
Like a Prayer by Madonna.
All right. it's a knockoff like elevator music style, Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
It's like done for a fishbowl.
Sure. Anything to get by the copyright gods.
Alright, so a flashing neon Worldwide Wrestling comes up on screen. We're definitely harkening back to glow aesthetic here. And then we have various pictures of you have like a camera shot from above the ring. It spins down, as it gets close to the ring. Just before it cuts, you see the it bounce off, and it goes to the next person. So first up, we got a little intro section for. Let's do this in. So first person is going to be Max Gold. Max Gold's intro sequence bit. Give me in 5 seconds why we should be invested in Max Gold.
So in this 5 seconds, I assume this is just going to be clips.
Yes, it's a clip. It can be you saying something or doing something.
It's going to be just a couple quick cuts of me doing like amateur wrestling takedowns and finishing it off with having somebody in my finishing move, the standing Texas Cloverleaf, and I'm just like.
Yeah,
I love it.
Much better with webcams.
It's much better with webcams. All right. Next up, we'll have Thunderpants because he's not management's favorite.
Okay. So basically, camera pans to him. He's just finishing a bottle of Iron Brew, which he finishes off, effortlessly throws over his shoulder perfectly into the recycling bin.
Oh.
At which point he just looks and says, "Last week management tried to screw me, but I turned the tables on them. Gonna keep it coming tonight."
All right. And last, and of course, the best, it's the Centurion.
I think the camera pans out to a fight between the Centurion and Big Dick Dunne. Big Dick Dunne throwing a beer bottle at him, then wrestling in the ring, and then the Centurion tapping out and then it immediately cuts to him bashing the door open to management, going, "Big Dick Danny!" And he turned to the camera and said, "You've seen it all here." And he hasn't quite realised that's not what you do in wrestling. So it pans out from that.
All right.
Big dick gone, but not forgotten.
So, in the grand old tradition of stuff really making sense between episodes, because a whole week has passed, but apparently people have not moved in the intervening time, we cut back to that office as the Centurion bangs open the door. Inside, a darkened office, gloomy, much gloomier than normal. Normally it's a relatively bright space, but today it's dark. Perhaps, well, does the Centurion hesitate at the door seeing this? Or
he coughs on the cigar smoke that's been smoked by.
I think you've seen where this is going. Excellent. It's hard to explain, but suddenly a spotlight comes down on a very expensive-looking high-backed chair, which wasn't previously in this room when you were here before, but now is. Its back turned towards you. Slowly, the chair turns round, and who do we see sitting in that chair?
Spencer Warden Baron turns slowly in his chair.
We're laughing now.
And says, sorry to disappoint you, Big Dick Danny is not here tonight. We've had some. I'm here now to take over, and I'm calling the shots. I'm your new, the new temporary GM of the show, and I'm going to make some changes. Tonight, Big Dick Danny has been removed from the title match.
Boo! Boo!
Yay!
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to cut in and respond to
And who do you think you are?
that. I'm Spencer Warden Baron. I'm here to bring a touch of class and respectability to the proceedings. We've had complaints from the network and from the PTAs that Big Dick Danny has too much BDE for primetime, whatever that is. So tonight, instead, we're going to get a little bit of SWB energy in here with a Regal Rumble that's going to determine Thunderpants' world title match's opponent at the head of the show tonight.
All right, we need a reaction shot from the Centurion. Gavel.
Yeah, I'm going to stub out my smoking gavel as a punctuation point. Yeah.
All right, we need a reaction shot from Centurion before it cuts.
I think he would he'd just turn around and just be like,
that checks.
All right, so we're gonna do a couple. So there's a couple of things here. So out of game, well, out of character. So what's happening with the management in real life, as it were, is that there's been a hot new signing of Spencer here. Unfortunately, you'll notice that both of you have the same gimmick, which is the Golden Boy, management's favourite. Now, while you both still have influence with management in real life, there's only going to be space ultimately for one on-screen person to fulfill that role. So, you guys are officially in a feud, with the winner of which will get to keep the Golden Boy and persona, and the other one will be forced to turn to a different approach to wrestling once all is said and done. So congratulations. So I think this is as good a time as any to go down to the entrance ramp where we have Matt and Piers. Your roles in these upcoming segments are going to be interviewers. Matt, could you give me interviewer name because you're just about to interview? Let's see. Who are you going to interview? You're going to be interviewing Max Gold.
Okay. Yeah, Robin Michaels.
Robin Michaels, huh? All right.
Nice.
Okay, All right. So, Robin Michaels, it cuts to you. Where are you with Max Gold right now, with a microphone in hand and presumably a camera crew at your beck and call?
Hi, Robin Michaels here. We are in the underground car park of the wrestling arena. I'm here with Max Gold. Max Gold, how are your injuries recovering from the previous match?
Well, last week, Thunderpants got a few good shots on me. I'm not gonna lie. He did me a number. But the thing about me is I always get back up. I always get back up stronger. And I always get my own back. So Thunderpants better watch out. Because once I win tonight's Regal Rumble, I'm coming for him. And I will knock him off his spot.
Well, it's good to know that you're back and healthy, Max. And what do you make about the claims on social media that maybe this is time that Max Gold doesn't get back up? That he should play today?
People can say what they want, okay? I did too much to get here. I paid too much to be as good as I am to just go down without a fight. People can say what they want. Max Gold only listens to Max Gold.
Alright, that seems like a good time to cut away as anything. So, Piers, we need...
Do I need to make a roll for that promo, or...?
Oh, yes, of course, yes. So give me a...
Oops, got dice.
Alright, give me 2d6.
This is the look, I still assume?
Yes.
So that's a 7 total.
Okay, so you can either gain so momentum. That's right. So I forgot to reset the momentum. So if you guys could all put your momentums back down to 1, or if you're, I don't think we've got anyone who starts with 2. Oh, that's right. So if you've got audience, yeah, audience 1 or 2, it resets to 1. So I'll go down. Oh, yep. Sorry, I think everyone's doing that. Yeah. So if you go and set your momentums to 1, so James, either you can have a momentum for yourself, or you can start in control of this next match coming up, which potentially could be quite important.
No, I'll take the momentum.
Okay.
I'll up that to 2.
So there are interviews with various other wrestlers who are going to be taking part in the Regal Rumble. Could you guys each give me the name of a fictitious wrestler who's now going to be considered part of the canon going forwards? Starting with you, Stan, because you look the most thoughtful about it.
You can have... Vigar the Magnificent, who is actually a Viking.
Magnificent. Nice. Alright, I love it already. I definitely... It's very good to have a straightforward character idea. Alright, James, who are you adding to the pool of freaks?
Let's add Rhodey Codes.
Rhodey Codes. That is pretty... yeah, that's pretty subtle.
Fictional character.
And what's Rhodey Codes gimmick?
Is coincidental.
What's Rhodey Codes' thing if it's not being a knockoff of another person?
Oh no! His thing is absolutely being a knockoff of another person.
Okay.
Let's not mistake that.
All right. He's probably got a yes. He's probably got a terrible tattoo as well. All right.
Ooh,
Matt,
that's fire.
who would you like to insert into proceedings?
In before Rustin Dodes.
The slippery eel.
What's his gimmick?
How much is that something we really want to answer?
he's a terrible wrestler, but the costume's amazing.
Okay, is he like an oil wrestler?
Oh, he absolutely, he covers himself in oil before each fight, and he doesn't actually do any good wrestling moves, but it causes chaos for the other wrestlers trying to do their moves.
Okay, that is truly fantastic. Thank you.
It will be an issue trying to eliminate, like, try to throw somebody who you can't grab onto over the top rope. So that's interesting.
Yes, I imagine it's quite hard to specifically throw them anywhere, as much as they'll be going everywhere. All right, and Piers, last of all, could you give us one last heinous crime to put into this match?
Disco Drake, who may be accompanied to the ringside by his tag partner B-Boy Ben.
Oh dear. And what's Disco Drake's gimmick, as much as I hesitate to ask?
his tasty dance moves.
Okay, so
allow
he's
him to befuddle and outmaneuver his opponents.
all right. So it's like capoeira kind of thing, but with disco.
Yeah, better because it's disco era.
Oh gosh. All right. So we have various segments with these guns. So last of all, Piers, if you could take the wheel as our secondary interviewer, either we've got Rob Seinfeld. We've got a lot of interviews. Betty Hashbrand.
They make up most of the roster.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Okay. I'll give you a choice of interviewers rather than interviewing. We're now going to end up with like 6 interviewers. So we've got Rob Seinfeld, Derek Bluehead, Betty Hashbrown, or Robin Michaels.
Do any of them have any degree of established character at this point?
Not really. I'm gonna now we've got 4 of them.
Bluehead has a blue head.
Yes, I think I'm gonna start giving them character once we've actually got a lockdown roster, which we have now. So whatever you put in here will be canon. Whatever anyone else puts in later on will be canon, no matter how little sense it makes.
Okay.
So fun fact, I'm really struggling for a name of an interviewer, and I just kind of looked what was in my room. And...
So it's a member of the Blue Man Group, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I see how things ended up the way they have.
Yeah, don't ask how Thunderpants came to be.
All right, what was Bluehead's name?
Derek Bluehead. I think we've established as canon that he is in fact a member of the Blue Man Group, or a rejected member of the Blue Man Group.
Okay. Oh, so he's blued himself.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, who am I interviewing as Derek Bluehead?
You are interviewing world title contender Thunderpants. He's had his opponent taken away, which he was expecting to face, but now he has to potentially face any one of a number of people from this Regal Rumble. So go for it. The camera cuts across. Oh, that's right as well. I'll leave that to you, Piers. Where are you interviewing Thunderpants, Derek?
We're going to do that in the locker room.
All right. What's Thunderpants doing?
Just coming back. Well, I don't know. You tell me, Thunderpants. What are you doing in the changing room?
I'm just coming back from go ahead now. Coming back from my early promo interview, and just walking back, having had a chat with a couple of the other on-site wrestlers, and coming back in looking quite angry.
Ooh.
So you may have heard the news. All right.
I almost definitely have.
All right. So we cut across. Derek Bluehead, take it away.
All right, you're joining me live right now in the wrestling changing rooms. I've just managed to track down Thunderpants. He looks like he's angry. Thunderpants, have you heard the big news today?
I have. I can't believe it. They're not making Blueberry Jolly Rancher anymore.
Well, if that's got you shook up, I have something even more upsetting to tell you. Spencer Warden Baron has come in and made big changes to your match tonight. Big Dick Denai is out. Your next opponent for tonight to be decided by Regal Rumble. How do you feel?
I am not surprised in the slightest. Last week, when I took out who I knew management wanted to win this whole competition, I knew for a fact that they would find a way to work things around. They weren't having me as their champ. They didn't want BDD in there either. And so they were always going to find a way to try and screw me again. So I wouldn't even be a slight bit shocked to see the person I beat last week coming back in. I wouldn't be a slight bit shocked to see either of these two golden boys of the business, the favourites of management, coming in to face me. All I know is that whoever comes to face me, I'm taking them down.
Do you have a strategy for planning against an unknown opponent, or are you just not concerned?
Just gonna kick names and take ass. I mean, kick ass and take... I'm gonna beat them.
Alright, well that's some fighting words from Thunderpants here. Pretty worked up down in the locker room.
Alright, so we're gonna go...
Do I need to roll anything? I don't know how.
Oh, yes. So if
also,
Yep.
I reset the momentum from last week to 1, right?
Yes.
Sorry, it took me a while to get onto my...
Yeah, that's good.
And then with the injuries, they stay from last week?
No, the injuries are gone.
Injuries are gone too. Okay, let's reset. Cool, no problem, thank you. What would you like me to roll?
If you roll 2d6.
Okay, I'm just looking at what my... And it's on... Is it plus luck, isn't it?
Yes.
My luck is 1.
Oh, nice.
What did you get?
Well, okay.
I got a 12 plus 1, so 13.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is that critical success?
It's the best you can get, certainly. So if you're doing that, so you gain a... Alright, so basically you get twice the reward. So you get +1 momentum straight away, and then you can... let's see... You can... Some of these don't make sense, but you can either gain another momentum, or you can gain an extra heat with whoever wins the Regal Rumble, because you've been bad-mouthing everybody.
Yeah, I'll take the extra heat with whoever wins.
Okay, I'll make a note of that just so hopefully at least one of us remember. Alright, so we're going to cut down to the ringside area where we're preparing for the beginning of the Regal Rumble. There's several disinterested looking young people who are probably theatre students wearing Renaissance fair outfits who blow on some very extremely cheap looking trumpets. You kind of think, given the fact that I think probably what it is they've supplied their own costumes, so the costumes are kind of okay, but the trumpets were probably supplied by Worldwide Wrestling, and so they are literally just like children's plastic trumpets that don't do anything. But they just kind of make a sad little popping sound. And coming to the ring first of all, and let's see. Actually, no, Stan, it would make sense. Would you mind being on commentary and announcing for this one?
Sure.
So, coming first to the ring is going
to clarify, a Regal Rumble is basically a Royal Rumble, right?
It's a non-copyrighted Royal Rumble. I don't know what you mean, is what
okay.
Do
we know how many entrants there are?
No, it's going to be a surprise!
Hey.
So, if you wouldn't... so, the first entrant is going to be Max Gold. So,
Hooray.
James, if you could describe your initial entrance, then we'll have the announcer announce your things, and then you'll describe your kind of last part.
So, my entrance is very much the same as it was in the first week. There is, like, gold lights that go across the audience, and just bright spotlights all across the entrance ramp. There are gold, like, sparks that fall down from in front of the big LED screen, and I just walk out in my sort of gold robe and gold singlet, and it's all very pompous and very more like me, and I'm just I do the preening, I do all of that, and then I just walk, but I still walk to the ring with like an air of seriousness, because this is a serious contest. But also I'm Max Gold.
Do you have everything you need for the ring announcing, or do you want me to send it to you?
I got it, thanks. I think.
Okay.
Just checking the weight. Okay. First contender for the Regal Rumble, weighing in at 215 pounds. He hails from Springfield, but he's not yellow. He's gold. Gold. It's Max Gold.
Yeah.
Oh, woo! Ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm a heel. You all can boo me.
I mean, boo! Boo! We hate that guy.
The announcer, they will boo you.
Yeah, well, we love the entrance, but we hate the wrestler. It's it's exciting, but loathsome.
That's fine.
All right. So, what does Max Gold do when they get to the ring?
When Max Gold enters the ring, all of the gold lights turn off, so the only spotlight is on him in the middle of the ring,
Excellent.
and just staring straight down the hard cam with the sort of.
It holds for just a little bit too long, just so it gets a little bit awkward. All right, and I'll leave this up to, let's see. Actually, I'll leave this up to the person who came up with each of these ideas. So, who came up with the... actually, now I can remember. So, yeah, it's because we want to get the crowd excited because they've just been sort of, on this emotional roller coaster of seeing Max Gold's entrance and feeling too many things. They need to feel happy again. So, I'd like for Disco Drake's daddy, Piers, to tell us what his entrance is like.
All right. Well, obviously, the lights go dim, and Night Fever starts playing.
Excellent.
And then the spotlight comes on Disco Drake with the full Travolta, with B-Boy Ben awkwardly doing not at all matching, like street popping and locking behind him. Drake
Thank you, James.
his way down the ramp, Travolta style, dancing his way all the way up into the ring, and then he's B-Boy Ben takes his disco cape from him and goes and folds it neatly near the corner of the ring, whilst B-Boy Ben stands in the center in the spotlight, finishing off his little dance routine, and then shuffles off into his respective corner.
All right, we'll just have to have some creative announcing here because apparently you lost the card that had B-Boy Ben's stuff on it. But could you?
You mean Disco Drakes?
Yes, I mushed the two names together.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Weighing in from pounds unknown. And from parts unknown also, the only kind of fever allowed on Triple W is night disco fever, some fever that's not a pandemic. It's Disco Drake!
Woo! The crowd are made
The crowd is slowly choking.
They're all heavy smokers.
I do need to ask one question. When you say they Travolta down the ramp, are we talking Grease Travolta or Pulp Fiction Travolta? They're very different bands.
Oh no! Saturday Night Fever.
Play.
If I had some leg room, I might. Yes.
All right, so Stan's going to be on lead commentary for this match, so we'll cut back and forth as to what he's saying. For the time being, so James, so how the Regal Rumble works is it basically there's a custom move that takes place.
Sure.
So it works very similarly to an unnamed but similar match type from a different promotion.
Sure.
Whenever you make a wrestling move, you'll get different results, which is on a 10+, like, 'cause obviously you're going to spend a lot of time just trying to get people out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So on a 10+, you get to pick one of +2 momentum, throwing an opponent over the top rope, which gains you +1 heat with them, or picking the next entrance to the wrangle and gaining 1 heat with them.
Okay.
On a 7 to 9, you will throw someone over the top rope, but they will then take control because you have to sort of work with it. Or you can retain control of the match and pick the next entrance. And on a botch, you get taken over the top rope, and you can spend 1 momentum to stay in the ring or get dumped out and gain +1 heat with whoever dumped you.
Okay.
The sort of the extra mechanic here is, which is still a global mechanic, is the interrupt move, So you can spend the momentum basically to interrupt whatever is happening. So in this case, it would be interrupting whatever is going on, which is primarily you getting dumped out of the ring. So if you can find ways to get momentum during the match, it's probably a good idea, or on the way to the ring, because otherwise your stay in the match may well be quite short.
Of course. Okay.
So James, with the actual match itself, you'll have total narrative control until somebody else shows up. But Piers, if you're alright with filling in for Disco Drake when, as far as what he's actually doing in reaction to all this stuff. But James will have narrative control for now, so... actually, yeah, Stan, so as you see these two square off, what comes across in the commentary to hype up these fans?
Alright, straight away, we are jumping in with two of our flashiest contenders already, just oozing confidence. Max Gold looking dominant, looking to assert his will on this match.
Alright, so Max, you have narrative control. What do you do?
So I think to start the Regal Rumble off, we are going to actually have some chain wrestling.
Okay.
Because we want to get a good feel for just what sort of fast-paced action we can get out of this, and I feel like Disco Drake would be a good partner for that. Good dance partner, pardon the pun. So, I would like for some attempted, I will go for the collar and elbow, but then I go for the wrap around, try to grab from behind, and Disco Drake does split with the legs to get out of it.
Also,
drop to the ground split.
Yeah, so
Yes,
what we're going to try for this one is if you just narrate what you're doing, and then we'll let the other person say what they're doing. So if you say,
as long as Disco Drake is okay with that.
Yeah. Well, so if you start the technical wrestling thing, then we'll pass it across to Piers and say, so how does Disco Drake? You know what wants to happen, but how does Disco Drake deal with it?
Okay. So yeah, collar and elbow, and then I go around behind to have sort of a waist lock from behind.
Okay. So yeah, I quite like the idea that he drops down to a split to try to slip out of it, and then I think he's probably going to try and roll backwards through your legs to put you into the same hold.
I'll allow that. I'm fine with that.
All right. So yeah, just keep going back and forth, and then until we get to a big move.
Okay. So now I would like to try and pry the arms away from around my waist to get an arm lock on Drake.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to try and put it in sort of like a chicken wing position behind the back.
Right. I get you. So we're pretty close, presumably, to the ropes at that point, with him.
Yeah, there'll be some moving around. Yeah.
So he's going to then try to sort of run up them. So lift himself up by leaning back into you, and then sort of use his legs to push up off them, and then try to push you backwards to take you off balance.
Okay, so while he's walking up the ropes, can I attempt to push him over them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So in this case, it seems a good time to roll for that. So give me your 2 dice to start with, and I'll just check exactly what we need to get from there.
Sure thing. So I rolled an 8. So it'll be a medium success, whatever it ends up being.
Yes. So you could spend momentum to Okay. So yeah. So this all happens. So he's dancing up the ropes. There's a whole sort of thing where you kind of try and push him over. It doesn't quite happen, and as you guys are kind of embroiled, you can get to choose the next entrant from the Vega the Magnificent, Rody Codes, Slippery Eel, or who else we got?
I think Vega the Magnificent.
Okay.
Let's add a powerhouse to the mix.
All right, Vega the Magnificent. For the time being, Matt, are you okay to run Vega the Magnificent, who is a Viking?
Sure.
All right, so Matt, could you tell me, as these guys brawl on the ropes and kind of get themselves all tangled up in a awkward-looking mess, what does Vagar the Magnificent's Viking entrance look like?
He comes in with a horn and just blows it. Exactly like that. Yeah, at the entrance. So the crowd
Slightly less impressively, actually.
One of the two.
And as the crowd turns to him, he can see he's kind of got these like animal pelts on him, which definitely look fake. They're a little tinselly, and he kind of does like a kind of a quick walk, and then it kind of goes into a slow, heavy jog, and it's like just like a you can just see this heavy like weights just picking up momentum like a truck as it as he heads towards the ring, and seeing the attempted move by Max Gold, throwing I've already forgotten his name.
Disco
Drake over the ring. He's going to try and come up the side of the rope and pull him backwards out the ring.
Oh boy. Well, I guess anything goes in a Regal Rumble. What does commentary think of this?
Well, first, you don't get an announcement for the first
No,
one,
generally not. It's just the music.
Yeah. So I'll sort of make way with it in commentary. So here we go. Here comes the 300-pound beast from the northeast, and he is absolutely wading his way to the ring. We do see in the ring Disco Drake in something of a precarious position, but straight away in comes Vigar. He's looking to cause trouble. He's looking for Max Gold.
All right.
He lifts him up. Tries to lift him up.
It's a Lion King moment.
All right. How does Max Gold get out of this shit situation?
So, as soon as I'm lifted by Vigar the Magnificent, I am attempting to punch away at the hands to break the grip.
Okay. When it comes to going up against an NPC wrestler, basically anything you do will just more or less just succeed. So,
Sure. Okay.
But of course, like it's no fun if it's just you're like I beat them up and throw them to the moon.
Do it.
I didn't know throwing them to the moon was an option. All right.
I mean, it wasn't until now apparently. So you're punching his hands. What happens?
As he punches his hands, he kind of releases just for a moment, giving Max Gold some space.
So my feet land on the mat, and I'm immediately in attack mode on the much larger foe. So I try to get some kicks in at the legs, particularly back of the knees. Go for some strikes.
All right. What's Disco Drake doing while this is all going on?
So as Rygar sort of charges in and takes the attention away, he just does a little spin with a little flare at the end of it to get away. And he's actually just sort of stood a little way back in a sort of, crouched down, ready to pounce position, but sort of watching to see the back and forth of the combat, see where he can step in and get an advantage.
All right, so we're going to see that Vigar at some point gets into their sort of brawling back and forth. So what does Max do next to turn this match around?
I think there would be an instance of just throwing whatever strikes Max can to try to cut the big man down, and then there'll just be a look towards Disco Drake to try and say, hey, this guy is bigger than us. We need to work.
Does Disco Drake go for it?
Yeah, so he's going to go in for a jumping drop kick at Vagar's side, as he's focusing in on Max Gold.
What happens? I'll leave this to Matt.
I think I think it's just kind of a slow motion moment.
A live action slow motion. I love it.
See a little ball go. But I think he gives over pretty easily.
All right. Does he? Are you saying that is he going backwards over the top rope or just falling over?
I think back over the top rope.
All right.
Oh, wow.
What does commentary think of this?
Oh, as always, the Regal Rumble makes for the strangest of bedfellows. We see Disco Drake and who is it, Golden Boy? It is Max Gold, who previously were trying to take each other down, now turning their attention towards the bigger man. He's in all sorts of danger, sliding slowly towards the top rope. He might be going over. To clarify, is he going over?
It's up to Matt.
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he is.
And he's gone!
All right. What does Vigard do now? That's the first elimination, co-eliminated by Disco Drake and Max Gold.
Who's Disco Drake's teammates? Are they outside the ring?
B-Boy Ben.
B-Boy Ben, who's not actually necessarily part of the Rumble as an official competitor, but is hanging around.
Wrangle.
He is now.
All right, sure. Or you just throw him into the ring and make him a participant. All right, that's how it works. Yep, B-Boy Ben has just been thrown in and therefore becomes a participant. All right.
So what is B-Boy Ben doing, Matt?
All right, that's a new character. It's B-Boy Ben.
B-Boy Ben kind of it looks a bit startled at first, but then kind of warms into it and looks at Disco Drake and like looks at Max Gold, looks back at Disco Drake again and gives a nod and goes to clothesline Max Gold.
Oh my gosh! What happens, Max?
I would like to counter this momentum to, as B-Boy Ben is running towards me, I get an arm around the back of the head and use that momentum to throw him over the top rope.
Oh boy, that sounds
he's not an official participant in the Regal Wrangle.
I mean, the history books will decide, won't they? All right, give me a wrestling roll of some kind.
Alrighty, that is, if it's a work, that's a 10.
All right. So you throw him over the top rope. You gain a heat with, and I'll note this down here, with B-Boy. Man, these guys are getting pretty fleshed out already. So eliminated by Max Gold. Put some heat. I'll make proper notes of this later on down the line. All right. So Matt, what are the final moments of B-Boy Ben in the match? Tell me what he's doing.
I feel like if any of you have ever watched Matilda and you've seen Miss Trenchpool do the hammer throw on one of the kids.
Oh yeah.
I think it's that kind of thing. He just like, you see him go out the ring, you don't see him land, he just goes out into the crowd. You just hear,
Sure, why not?
The camera's definitely set up to allow that.
It's like he just disappears out of vision and there's just like ting.
There's a moment's silence, and then suddenly you just hear a, "He's okay."
How does Disco Drake react to this?
I think he's just in shock at seeing his friend get launched through the air into the crowd, and is just stood staring, trying to make sure he's okay, not really paying too much attention to what's going on inside the ring.
All right, commentary.
What a stunning series of events we have just witnessed. On the back of his elimination, Vigar lawn darts B-Boy into the ring. Referees don't take him out, and it looks like he might be an official participant. And just like that, the bedfellows that were Max Gold and Disco Drake are no more, for there is a new person in bed with Disco Drake, his tag team partner B-Boy, going straight on the attack on Max Gold, but a perfect counter from our quality technician sends B-Boy hurtling into the atmosphere. He's okay, yells someone from the crowd, but they're lying.
I like the unexpected twist.
I finished the job.
We finished the jobber.
All right, I guess this is as good a time as any for our next character entrance. So James, since you did such a great job of murdering that guy, why don't you choose our next victim between Roadie Codes and the Slippery Eel?
Let's go Slippery Eel.
All right. So that will fall to Matt. If since he's currently getting all of his guys getting eliminated immediately. So what's the Slippery Eel's entrance like, Matt?
So you see a man in a morph suit appear with googly eyes stuck to the sides of its head.
We're truly blessed.
Covered in oil, but he doesn't kind of walk in. You just see like he slides down the pathway as the audience. So the audience almost don't see him, and he stands up, opens his hands out like that. A couple
oil
of
flies everywhere.
Absolutely. Some of the crowd kind of cheer. Some of the bigger fans kind of run up to the sides of the audience with their own bits of like cooking oil, and they're like throwing it all over him. And then he kind of steps back to do a bit of a run up, and then he charges towards the ring, and kind of just goes
I hope he goes all the way out through the other side.
Exactly what's going to happen. He goes to the bottom side, tries to take out, in a perfect line, take out the people who are in the ring. And it's immediately clear he's overshot it. And slides onto the ring. He's going to try and hit both of you, and then regardless, he's going to slide out the other side.
I'll leave it up to you guys. Are you going to get bowled over by this amazing maneuver?
Oh yeah,
No.
well, Disco Drake stood around stunned, looking for B-Boy Ben at the moment, so he's definitely going over.
What does it look like when he does?
So it's that sort of like comical thing of like he doesn't go up in the air. It's just almost like he rotates completely sideways without changing height at any point, then falls down.
Excellent.
And this isn't an elimination at this point because it's obviously it's still over the top rope, but it's just it's a laugh.
All right, and how does Max Gold evade this astounding maneuver?
He just watches it go by.
Okay. And commentary. What do you make of this incredible offense?
It's that time again. We've got the eel out to cause all sorts of mischief, slipping and sliding down to the ring. The eelites are out, throwing the extra oil over him, and here he goes. It's the big slide. He's caught Disco Drake. He's not caught Max Gold, who's far too clever. He's seen this all before, and there he goes. He's gone out the other side of the ring.
All right, so that's a thing that happened. So, all right, we're back in the ring. There's a huge, path of oil now through the center of the ring. Max Gold is there. We've got, let's see, Disco Drake, who is face first, probably in the oil, just for extra ick factor. All right, so Max, what happens next?
I'm just going to shake my head and then try to grab Disco Drake once again around the waist, but almost sort of like deadlift, pick him up.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and in the stunned position of both losing his tag team partner and being taken out by Slippery Eel. Just sort of, just try and get him over the top rope.
All right, it's going to be a tricky job.
Take advantage of the confusion, more or less.
All right, give me them rolls.
I got, if this is work, I assume?
It can be.
Well, I rolled 10, so as long as it's not luck, I'm good.
So you do have a couple of choices here. So you can either gain 2 momentum, which again, remember, momentum is quite important in this match, or you can throw them over and gain a heat, or you can pick the next entrance and gain a heat with them.
So I'll throw over and gain a heat.
Okay, so that'll be a heat specifically with...
still 1 momentum with that?
Oh, sorry. So, as a result of the rolling the 10+, you either get 2 momentum, or you throw them over, or you pick the next entrant.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Oh, so sorry. Which one of those did you want to go for?
Throw over the top rope and eliminate.
Okay, so you gain a heat with, so that's eliminated by Max Gold. Okay, so you're now alone in the ring, though you're not theoretically the only remaining participant. I don't know what happened to Slippery Eel. No one knows. But what does Max do while they're waiting for the next opponent to come out?
So after I've thrown Disco Drake over the top, I just sort of stand in the corner with my arms up on the ropes, just sort of waiting to see what happens, keeping an eye out just in case Slippery Eel makes another appearance, but then just generally hanging out.
All right, from the commentary position, it's evident that someone's forgotten to start up the next entrance. How does commentary feel for this time?
And again, we see just great technical work coming out of Max Gold. You would have thought that being covered in a pile of slime, Disco Drake would have been able to escape the clutches, but Max Gold has the strongest locks in the business, throwing yet another competitor out, showing he is truly not going to be the Iron Man of this match, but the Gold Man, and he is now waiting for the next contender.
I heard that. I like that.
It's a quiet crowd tonight. Let's put it that way. So, the next person to make their entrance is in fact not a jobber. How exciting. Instead, it's going to be the Centurion. How does the Centurion come out to the ring?
He comes out with his rubber helmet and half cape, bare chest showing, lifting up like that, looking to each of the crowds. It seems clear that the actors with the terrible fake bugles are part of his entrance. And he walks halfway down the walkway, looks over at Max Gold, and then makes his way up onto the corner, one of the corners, stands up, looks to the crowd, and kind of gets them to jam up a bit, and points at Max Gold.
Excellent. That sounds like a work the audience move. So if you give me a 2 dice roll plus audience, and we'll see if they are into what you're trying to lay down.
Plus audience, did you say? 7.
Okay, so you do get a reaction. You can either gain a momentum, or once you get in the ring, take control of the match.
I'll gain a momentum.
All right. So tell me, how do you get... Oh, we'll let you actually put that in first. But once you have... Tell me, how do you get in the ring? What's the initial showdown here look like?
As he's pointing and threatening to Max Gold, I think he's just going to try and dive on him. I think that's the goal.
Okay.
Go straight in with a slam.
Okay, so tell me, what does that look like?
He fully commits. He jumps off the corner because Max Gold is a little bit of a distance away. So he goes in and leans in with his elbow, but he's going to land the flat of his arm on Max Gold, so he's got a bit more to support the weight. And he's going to try and force Max Gold onto the ground.
All right, how does Max Gold take this?
I'm sort of not expecting him to do a high-flying move right out of the gate, so I'm just sort of, oh, wait, no. And yeah, what happens.
All right, so we bonk him on the head with a good old wonk. What does commentary think of this startling change to the match dynamic?
Oh, here we go. It is another of our second chances. The two men eliminated from the tournament last week now are face to face, looking for that opportunity to face off against the almighty Thunder Pants. Let's see which of them is able to take the early advantage. Coming straight out of the gate, bolting forward is going to be the Centurion, looking for the high impact move, finding it straight onto Max Gold.
I like the callback as well. That was good commentator awareness. All right. So what happens next, Matt?
He pulls Max Gold up to his feet and does a couple of hits, couple of punches to kind of just soften it out a little bit. There's a headbutt in there as well from the helmet. And
because it's rubber, it's actually not too bad.
I assume it does make an audible squeak when that happens.
He's going to he's not going to try and throw him out the ring yet. I think he's just going to try and work with him to get the audience going a bit. So again, he's going to try and do a power move, just lift him up high in the air.
Military press.
Yep. What does Max do when he's high up in the air?
Just sort of like I just have my arms on the arm Centurion has on my torso just to help keep balance, and then I just take the move. Okay.
So yeah, that seems like a pretty big move. I think it's time to get some dice rolling going on up in here. Do bear in mind as well, an option inside the match itself is you can get microphones from the ringside area and cut promos and things, because you'll need as much momentum as you can get, and those are some of the ways you can get momentum. But for now, this sounds like a good old-fashioned wrestling move. So if you could give me, let's see, if you're doing this as a, let's see, are you a power guy?
I'm a power guy, yeah.
Okay, so I think this would probably be a feat of strength rather than a regular wrestling move. So it's a 2 dice plus power.
12.
Oh, right, wow. Okay, your muscles are so big. So probably not oily yet, but they'll get there, given the state of the ring. So you get to pick one. Either you do it easily and gain +2 momentum, or you impress your opponent and gain +1 heat with them.
I'll go with the 2 momentum.
All right. And you keep control of the match. Well, why don't you tell me, what does it look like when you drop down Max Gold from this great titanic height?
I managed to, working with Max Gold, it makes it look like he's going to lay him down just completely flat. So he looks kind of just like starfished out. Looks like
there's like little splashes of oil from where I landed.
Yes, it looks like blood for a second. Like oh, just so.
And then I think as a follow-up move, because he puts him down, like face down into the like flat out onto the oil that's on the ring. And I think just as a follow-up move, I think the slippery eel is going to appear again and try and get back in the ring. And as he's about to climb into the ring, the Centurion's going to slide Max Gold off the oil straight into the eel to try and knock him out the ring again.
I think that's, for comedic effect, that's absolutely how it's going to work. So he'll get hit in the knees, fall over, smack his face on the apron on the way down, and drop back out of the match again.
So Slippery Eel hasn't been officially eliminated yet, am I
No,
correct?
he's failed to get back in the ring.
Okay.
All right, there seems like a good chance then to switch things sort of back over to Max Gold. You're on the outside of the ring, a mostly genuinely unconscious slippery eel, crumpled next to you, burbling softly, bubbles maybe come out of his gimp mask, which wasn't fully sealed. What do you do?
So I'm going to, without the audience seeing me, I'm going to rest outside the ring for a second, but I'm also going to try and get close to Slippery Eel and just go up to him and just be like, "Hey, you okay? You're right down there?"
Who's running Slippery Eel at the moment?
Oh, that's me as well.
Okay, Piers, do you want to take over Slippery Eel?
Who doesn't want to take over a Slippery Eel?
Yeah. Also, just to add on it, I think Max is going to wait out a sec, just stay outside the ring while the next entrant comes in. So just use that time to recuperate.
All right. What does... let's see. So I've got to make sure I keep up with everyone. What does the Centurion do while he's unexpectedly left alone in the ring for an extended period?
He's going to grab a mic and he's going to call out Spencer Walden Baron.
Nice.
And be like, "I know you're listening, money boy. Where are you? There's no Big Dick Dunay. Come, face us."
All right. Yeah, I think that's a... let's see. That's going to be a card promo. I'm here for the extended syllables. All right, so that sounds like you are going to cut a promo. Something you can do is if you involve the hometown in some way, you get an extra momentum. It's up to you. That's something you can do once per episode. You can do it now or later.
Bring in his hometown.
Oh no, bring in the current hometown, which is going to be. Let's turn for random town in the USA. Glasgow, Montana.
Glasgow, Montana.
Classic. Original home of wrestling.
There we go, yeah.
He's sailing from Charleston. We'll go, you might be made in the UK, but there's only one Glasgow in this world.
Nice, that is a good cheap heat. Add an extra momentum and roll your look to see how your promo goes across. Because people are excited just to have the name of their town mentioned, honestly. I mean, I've been in that crowd. I know it works.
Ooh, okay. 8. Can I... What would happen if I used a couple of momentum to bring it up to a 10? Does it...
It would well, so let's see. So on a 10, you get a momentum and you get to pick from the regular list. So if you could basically effectively you could trade a momentum. Actually, no, it doesn't really seem worthwhile. You can gain a momentum. You can gain a heat with the subject of your promo, which would seem to make sense. None of the other stuff really makes sense. So one of those two.
Okay, I'm going to gain some heat with Spencer.
All right. So you start off at 1 heat with him, so you'll be at 2 heat now. Actually, no. Let's say you're at 3 heat because you guys had that segment before, which was more than establishing you as mere acquaintances. All right. Cool. So that promo goes on. The crowd are pretty into it. What does commentary think of this? Just lack of focus. This change of attention on the part of the Centurion.
So much has occurred. We saw the eel just running straight back into the ring, screaming, "Can you eel it coming in the air tonight?" But he couldn't hold on. He went straight out the other side of the ring, taking Max Gold with him. The two of them taking a bit of a breather. Max Gold's like, "Do you eel all right?" And he's like, "I'm eeling fine." So
you have no shame. It's wonderful.
The two of them now waiting it out. that it's not going to be letting the Centurion let this one slip by. He grabs the microphone and he is engaging with the crowd. They are absolutely loving it. And now the clock ticks down. 3, 2, 3. We couldn't afford a better clock.
It goes back and forth for a while, disappears, reappears. You hear some arguing from backstage, disappears again, and then Rody Code's entrance starts. And let's see, we're running out of people to run things, aren't we?
I can pick that one up.
Yeah. Well, no, you're in the match. I think it makes sense. I think it's going to be Stan who's going to be running Rody Codes for the time being. So what does Rody... I want to say Rody Chodes, but no, Rody Codes.
Don't do that.
It's silent in one version, but not in the other. But yes, what does Rody Code's entrance look like?
Well, he comes in and basically he's got his dog next to him. He's got his big neck tattoo and he wanders down, perfect bleached blonde hair, just walks down looking exceptionally smug and confident, just eating up the adoration or lack thereof from the fans, makes his way to the ring, pops the dog, just, loops the lead cable around the ring post, says, "Stay there, good boy," and then makes his way very coolly, very calmly into the ring, looking quite disdainfully upon the two people outside the ring.
Excellent. And what does commentary have to say about Rody Codes on the way down to the ring?
Here he comes! It is everybody's favourite! It's Rody Code's dog is here! Crowd pops massively. Like, this in turn sends the dog crazy. Never bring a dog into a live wrestling event, you idiots. So I'm sorry, it's personal thing.
I know, I also did not like that.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Dog settles back down again. Commentary's like, actually there, actively with the headset on, going, patting it, calming him down outside of the ring. Because the commentator just loves dogs, basically. And so it says, "Here comes Cody. He has no time for anybody."
We can't say
that mistake happens a lot on broadcast.
It's actually his nickname based on his surname. So, yeah. Here comes Rody. He cares naught for what the crowd think of him, nor for his fellow competitors. He's stepped confidently into the ring, and now he is eye to eye, nose to nose, ear to ear. That's right, they're facing sideways with the Centurion.
All right, what does the Centurion do?
The Centurion still got the microphone and goes, "What kind of person brings a dog to a wrestling match?" Are you here for a fight or are you here for a walk? I will walk you.
Oh man, this is the Cody Rhodes roast session.
What are you talking about? It's the Rody Codes roast session.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
And he's going to throw the mic to one side and is going to go for, I suppose, his take on a choke slam on Rody Codes.
All right, what does that look like?
He puts one hand on his waist, another one just below his throat, and he uses both hands to lift him up, hold him in the air for a little while to hear the crowd gasp, and then after kind of a moment of stillness, bang, flat on his back into the oil.
Oh man, how does Rody Codes take this?
Well, because it's straight into the oil and because he sort of managed to bend his back a little bit, he actually takes it quite well, slides across the ring to the oil, bounces back off the ropes, straight back into Centurion's face, where he attempts to try and hit the Roscroats.
Does he manage to do it, Matt? Does he manage? It's like a grab your head and spin it around and a plonk your head on your head thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As he kind of slams Rody Codes, he kind of takes a look back at the audience and kind of does a one arm lift like that, which is like just enough time to let him get a drop on him.
Excellent. Well, I guess I'll leave that. Oh, actually, Piers, do you mind playing Rody Code's dog?
Sure.
What does his
I
dog
feel
do?
like he probably should not be getting into the ring or anything though.
Arf, arf, arf.
Hold on,
it's-
I can provide someone to play the dog if needed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
We got this.
All right. Looks.
What are you doing? He's
Oh,
licking the commentator.
Oh,
The
look
dog
at
is
the
licking
commentator. how adorable! The camera's just on this whole situation, like not watching the wrestling at all. He's like, oh, look at the dog. Oh, he's tired. He's tired.
Let Piers go for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Piers does as a dog. That sounded wrong. You know what I mean.
I think you guys can share it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we've got the live action version. We've also got the thought process from Piers interpreting the live action.
Well, I think the dog is going to wriggle free of the announcer stand and then come round to run next to the side of the ring and yip and bark up at Rody Codes to check he's okay.
Aw, how adorable. There's like a side-on shot of like Rody with like his face kind of like, you know, coming out of the ring, the dog meeting, you know, kind of like a the Gotham Adam kind of Michelangelo kind of situation, but with the lick to the face. What does Rody do after being rejuvenated by these licky powers?
Rody just grabs a treat out of his trunks.
That's hygienic.
Who was very, very happy with this turn of events, and he says, "Sick 'em, boy!" At which point, the dog leaps into the air and just runs straight out to the back because he's had enough of this whole fiasco. So back to Randy Broads, who's waiting outside, and so he's safe, he's happy, got a treat for it, but now Rody's left all on his lonesome again. Puts up the old fist, it's getting ready, but then feels a slippery hand around his ankle.
Oh no! Who's running? That's Piers. No, wait. Who's running Slippery Eel?
Well, you can decide whose hand it is. I mean,
That's true.
Piers, you're no longer a dog. You're a man. You're a man. You're a Slippery Eel man.
Oh wait, no, I had taken on Slippery Eel. Sorry, so you were climbing back in and feel it round your ankle, or you just?
I don't think I was. I think I just climbed up. I sort of had a brief embrace with Doggo, and was just getting ready to face off with Centurion behind me.
Okay. Slippery Eel is going to try to drag himself up from prone and try to go for. I don't know how he can do anything useful.
I mean, he hasn't done anything useful so far, so why break character?
What's the guy's name? Is it Michael Nakazawa or what, the guy in AEW?
Michael Nakazawa from AEW, yeah.
I don't understand how that gimmick works at all.
He's gonna try to climb up and go for a Hurricane Rana. So he's gonna try and leap up and grab you round the back of the head, lock legs behind you, behind your neck, so he doesn't fly away.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. I mean, this is between two NPC wrestlers, so you can guys just do what the hell you like.
So feeling exactly what's going on here, realizing the situation as it is, and still being fairly close to the corner, I just edge backwards to try and get the Slippery Eel's feet onto the turnbuckle. At which point he has no traction and just slides straight off.
I guess, does that count as the eel being eliminated? I don't know if someone's. I
didn't say which way he slid off.
All right. Well, I'll let the eel enough to keep him around for a little bit longer. So he face plants off of there, probably slides to the center of the ring, and I think let's check in with Max Gold. What's Max Gold doing?
I am trying to be off camera as much as possible and hide from the audience being able to see where I am.
Okay.
So I roll under the apron to stay under the ring for the time being.
It's a mystery. I like it. All right, I'll make a note. Under the ring. All right, so back to the ring itself. So the Centurion sees this debacle going on as Cody Rhodes, newly empowered by his licky dog friend, has splattered the thought dead Slippery Eel into the center ring. Actually, let's catch up with commentary since I realize we haven't actually come back to that for a while. What does commentary think of this debacle?
I tell you what, so much disappointment. Everybody's favourite Doggo has now headed back to away from ringside, but we have still got a fierce bit of action going on. We have got 4 people duking it out. Well, I say 4 people, one of them playing somewhat of a coward's role earlier on, showing to be an incredible Iron Man. However, now the only reason for survival seems to be Max Gold's complete and utter lack of bravery. Meanwhile, the 3 remaining competitors, they're all looking to duke it out, but it's the Centurion who looks the most dominant. I heard that too, fuck you!
Comes across loud and clear on the overly sensitive equipment they're using today.
Yeah.
The under-ring mic.
Yes, for when you need to make a promo.
Ah, the Hornswoggle mic.
Yes, it's he wasn't using it anymore, so it's fine. All right, so we're about to have the next entrant coming through, but lastly, before we do, what's the Centurion doing in the ring with this whole mess of people splayed around the place?
The Centurion's a bit sick and fed up of the eel coming and going, so as the eel slips out of the ring, Centurion's going to try and, like he would grab an eel, he's going to try and grab hold of the slippery eel from under the bottom rope, pull him into the ring to throw him over the top rope.
I like it. All right, give me one of them wrestling moves, so you're just going to do the old tosserino, so I guess that's going to be power. I don't know what you mean, Stan. Don't know what you mean.
That's a 6, but can I use momentum to bring it to a success?
Yes, you probably should, otherwise you're the one going over.
Ooh.
Cool, then 7.
Okay, so normally this would allow for them to take control of the match, or the... Actually, yeah. So we're going to have a next entrance coming next anyway. So I'd say that the slippery eel proves too slippery for your clawing talons. Piers, why don't you tell me how the slippery eel comes out the best from this encounter?
So slippery eel gets dragged by the leg into the middle of the ring. However, he is able to get his free leg braced up against his assailant and push his other leg free. And then he tries to go for a trip where he locks his legs around his opponent's legs.
Okay. We'll need to... can you come up with a way in which the slippery eel gets taken out for the time being again? Because you're coming into the match with the main character. We need to get rid of the eel for the time being.
Sorry, I thought it was supposed to be a fail effect. Okay. So,
no, you were. That was all fine. I just realized as you were saying that. Wait a second. We need to get rid of this character.
Oh, just generically, would like to get rid of him.
Yes.
Got you. All right. Well, so I don't know how does that attempt to take Centurion's legs out go? Let's see if we can maneuver him from that position.
Yeah. I think the Centurion is too heavy. So I think it's that kind of like he's trying to take his legs out, and Centurion just kind of looks down on him, and kind of uses a kick to get him on the back of the ropes, and then use it with 2 hands, tries to get a better maneuver of getting him out the ring.
All right. Well, let's say for the sake of argument, this is enough to send the eel flying into the audience, where he can meet up with his eely buddies, Oilers? I can't remember what they were called.
Over or under the rope?
Over this time.
Over.
Ooh.
There's only so many times he's ran out of escapes.
He's used up his 9 eel lives.
Wasn't approved of.
Nope.
All right, so Slippy slides out the ring. What were the names of the Eels fans?
They were the Elites.
Elites?
Yeah. All right, so the Elites, as always, prepared to catch him because he spends a lot of time flying through the air.
Ooh, that can't end well.
Yes, it doesn't. There's a big it's like a sort of a big bowling kind of situation with the bowling sound effects as well, of course, because this is a high class production. And people don't even have the chance to recover before coming in as, surprise, surprise, our final entrant this evening, it might just in fact be Spencer WB. What does that look like?
So spotlight's on him, and he comes in his suit as he's strolling down and winking and waving at the audience. He pulls out a wad of bills and starts fanning them out into the audience as he comes down. As he gets to the bottom of the rank, takes off his suit jacket and his tie and flings them into the audience too. And then,
how did the audience react to this? Just out of curiosity. Because I was on. You're a heel, right?
That's true.
What do they do with all this stuff?
Throw it back.
All right, there we go. It's been decided.
I don't need your handouts.
Well, all of the bills have his face on him.
Of course, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's Alberto Del Rio money.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so the money's going out, it's coming back in again. Your clothes are just coming back in. Maybe one of them narrowly misses hitting you on the way back in again.
So
but
he turns and flips that audience general area that's come from the finger.
oh, excellent! That sounds like you might be working the audience. Why don't you roll me a plus audience?
It's 2d6 in it.
Yeah, and you
I've got
add your
one
audience. What did you get? Oh, that was
Strong.
rubbish.
Hey.
And he's gone.
All right. So you try and do this like this has worked before, but actually no. Let's go back and retcon that. There's just antipathy from the crowd. Like you get this like there's just like a sort of faint hissing sound coming from them. They don't throw it back. They just don't care. Like they you throw the money in, they just let it drop. You throw the clothes in, they just it just like hits a small child in the face. As it slides down, their just face is blank and expressionless. The audience is just silent as you come in. You don't know quite what to make of this. This hasn't happened before, but for whatever reason, this audience, they don't just not care for you. They actively you've got X-Pac kind of go away heat coming in here. So they're not booing you. They're smart enough to know that if they boo you, that it seems like they're engaged with you. They're just not engaging with you at all. How do you react to this?
I think he's just going to let it gloss off him. He doesn't care. He's just going to get into the ring and size up his opponent. So currently we have Centurion has just thrown out Slippery Eel.
Yes,
And
that's
we
right.
have Rody Codes.
Rody Codes is still in the ring, yes.
Yes, recovering from having done a explosive maneuver.
Okay.
And there's definitely nobody under the ring.
Yeah.
Totally.
So he's going to slide into the ring and going to immediately start going at Brody Codes with some like back and forth chops.
Who's running Rody at the moment? All right. So tell me, how does this go with Rody?
Can we have some commentary to introduce the?
Oh sure. Does anyone want to do that?
Commentator's kind of feeling neglected over here.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were going to be going. Okay, I do apologise. What does commentary think of this? Actually, no. How do you cover for the fact? I want to hear as well, particularly how the commentary covers for the audience reaction as well.
Alrighty, so much going on yet again. It looks like this could be the end for the slipperiest of eels. He's gone flying straight into the eel lights. They all go down with a massive bang, and it's going to be the eel's head hitting the guardrail. He looks up at his close friend and says, "I don't eel so good, Mr. Stark." And it's Dunzo for the eel.
Not the only one. Not the only one.
I think that was an X from James. That was an X.
Yeah, I feel like that was spiritually an X, if not physically.
No, it's good. It's good. We're all good.
So it's going to be Now, our final entrant, some would say he got the lucky final entrant, some would say luck had nothing to do with it whatsoever, according to a text I just received from Thunderpants. However, here he comes, throwing dollar bills as he comes, but one swift look at those dollar bills from the audience, and they realise they're not useful anywhere apart from Canada, and so they just don't care whatsoever. The trousers, was it the trousers or the suit jacket? Both of them go flying into the
They were
face
one piece.
of Rhodey Codes' son and slide down his face. But it's like trousers off an eel's back. It's not going to stick. He doesn't care. Rhodey looks slightly pissed though.
All right, fantastic stuff.
Bravo.
So Spencer, you're into the ring. You're facing down the Centurion. You've got a Rhodey Codes looking peed off from the floor, and a mysterious presence you can just sense under the ring. You don't know how, but you sense it.
I'd like to note that since Spencer is apparently stripped down just to like wrestling undies,
Yes,
that they have a green fleur-de-lis pattern across them.
excellent.
Yeah, so he's like using some chops to soften up Rhodey Coates, and having done so, he's going to try to grapple him, get his head under his arm, set up for a suplex.
All right.
Middle of the ring.
Well, I mean, I don't need to ask what Rhodey Codes is doing because I've already seen it locked out for me.
Just wait till you see the suplex.
Oh, gosh. All right, so I guess this is going to go forward. So Spencer, honestly, I don't think a suplex is something you really need to roll for. Just tell me how it goes forward.
So he braces him, lifts him up like this, straight up into the air. Sort of does a little bit of a half turn while he's there to position himself, so he's going straight into the center of the ring, and then just tosses both of them back, crashing Rhodey Codes into the middle of the ring with a bounce, and then starts to sort of roll away to recover and stand up.
Nice.
About at least a little bit of a splash.
Yes.
It's a splut.
But perhaps slightly sort of stumbling a little as he gets up. Not used to the friction issues.
All right. So underneath the ring, Max, you hear the ring go boom above your head.
Yep.
Do you say anything into the Hornswoggle microphone that's under the ring?
No, I'm staying as silent as possible so that there is no attention on me whatsoever.
Excellent. All right, so I'll give it to the Centurion. You've seen a pretty nice suplex from Spencer. Evidently, this is evidence of how inept he is as a wrestler. What do you do next?
The Centurion's going to use the opportunity to grab a mic from the audience, kind of just rest on the ropes and say, address the crowd and say, I'm sensing that you're not feeling a lot of love for Spencer. Well, have pity on him. Times are hard at the moment, and he's trying hard to make it in a real wrestling organization.
Oh,
Shame.
I like it. All right. Let's see. Is it? I think you are still actively trying to crap on him, so I'd say let's say cut a promo. So give me a plus look roll.
Uh, 10.
All right. So you gain one momentum, and you can either gain a second momentum or you can up your heat between the two of you.
I would up my heat, please.
Cool. If you end the match with someone you forgot 4 heat with, you will gain an audience. So it's definitely worth having.
Puts you to 4, doesn't it?
It puts us to 4, yeah.
Yeah, so remember it's independent. So for peers, I believe you're currently at 2 heat with him. So in terms of what this is sort of looking like game-wise, the Centurion's been able to take a crap on Spencer quite a lot, but Spencer hasn't really been actively responding to him. So that's why at the moment the audience are much more into this from the Centurion's side. Alright, so while you're cutting this promo, I think it's as good a time as any to check back in with our good friends on commentary. What's up, commentary bros?
Well, we have seen a mighty suplex. Certainly looks like Rudy Codes took a nasty knock to the back of the head there. He's got up looking rather dazed, but still somewhat angry about his son being hit in the face with trousers. Meanwhile, yet more fantastic work from the vocal cords of the Centurion, showing that not only is a mighty presence in the ring, but a mighty force on the microphone.
Nicey. Spencer, I think this is a good chance for anything while the Centurion is playing to the crowd for you to make your way back up to your feet and take the spotlight. What are you going to do next?
Yeah, so is the Centurion still in the ring doing
Yes.
this promo, or is he gone out?
Yeah, he's been passed the mic from ringside.
Yeah. All right. So, having gathered my feet to see Centurion A talking smack to me and B not paying very much attention to his surroundings, then charge at him to go in for a spear from behind to try and take him down.
All right, you're trying to put him to the mat rather than knock him out of the ring.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I want to put some hurt on him and make him look bad rather than just take him out.
Oh, so if this is the kayfabe thing that's going on, Matt, can you tell me what happens to facilitate this particular outcome?
So I think, well, the Centurion's a big guy, and I think feeling the spear go ahead, I think he's going to give some momentum to kind of give Spencer that sense of great strength, despite like the slight size difference.
The old jump in the air when someone's going to hit you kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw his weight forward.
So that's a massive spear. Commentary. Has currently being joined on co-commentary by an expert on the matter.
Still better than having David Otunga.
Oh man.
True, but yeah.
Yes.
All right, it's been a ferocious spear. What does commentary think of this? This is so Spencer catching the Centurion seemingly off guard.
The Centurion, who has looked so strong throughout this wrangle, has just taken his first really significant hit. Absolutely explosive spear coming out of the mighty Spencer.
All right, so you guys both down the map. That was pretty brutal. What comes next for Spencer?
So he's sort of just expended quite a lot of energy explosively coming in. So I think he's going to try and recover a little bit of energy by trying to put Centurion into a hold. So he's going to go for an arm bar on him. Now they're both down on the ground.
Okay, so while that's going on, Rody Codes has gotten the chance to recover. So that's what's going on at the moment. There's an arm bar, Centurion being arm bar on the ground, but what does Rody go for?
Well, Rody is still furious that his son got hit in the face with trousers. He's still looking for revenge on Spencer. Unfortunately, did take a knock to the back of the head and is somewhat dazed and confused. He's got up, he's looking for Spencer, and he's looking to charge the nearest person to him with a clothesline. Fortunately, that nearest person to him is the just slowly standing up Centurion.
Okay, usually the arm bars are done from the ground, but the
Well, I guess maybe.
I thought the armbar was done.
free from all the oil.
Yeah, I thought the armbar was done.
Okay, no, that's fine. So we'll just do it so that the armbar was done, and then I guess Spencer got up and kind of preened to the crowd a bit while the Centurion got up and then got hit in the face with
and then Rody goes down as well because he's still probably slightly concussed if we're perfectly honest.
Well,
Okay.
I think he was going for
Just short
Centurion
of
rather than
concussed.
Spencer there, were you? Or-
Yeah. So Spencer's sort of he's down having just done the armbar and like I say a bit knackered from the spear. Centurion got up, got clothesline. He's down. Rody goes down too, just on the back of.
Okay, no, I know how this could work. So you've got Spencer kind of preening to the crowd. The shot's over his shoulder, and so as Rody gets to his feet and starts to charge forward, the Centurion rises up, groggy, into the path of that clothesline.
Yeah.
And Matt, how does the Centurion take this?
Centurion goes down. There's a little part of it, like him kind of knowing that that kind of getting a sign that that's what was going for, but also he's a little groggy himself. And he hadn't really anticipated for how much oil was going to be. So his footing goes a little quicker than he was expecting, and he falls down quite quickly, leaving and allowing Spencer and Rhodey some time to kind of, I don't know, work out their rivalry.
All right, the old quiet whisper on the floor.
Yeah,
I think Cody went down as well. So perhaps seeing this opportunity, Spencer's going to go for a elbow drop on the Centurion.
Ooh.
But actually, really, just to say, like, are you okay? It looked like you slipped and went down a bit badly there.
Okay, so we've got like a line of 3 guys who are lying on the mat talking to each other. All right. So
Well,
I'm just
only there
watching
were
front
a
of the ring
fourth
and my little
person who could take advantage.
So we're getting into the later parts of the match where we're going to start wrapping things up. So at this point, the referees are going to start telling you guys who, like, more
I'm
specifically.
feeling good for Rhodey's chances, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling pretty good for them as well. I mean, at this point, who knows? You may end up playing both sides of the title match.
No.
So a referee finds Max Gold under the ring and lets them know that they're up to, they need to get up there and eliminate Rhodey Codes. That's going to be the next part of the match. So I leave it how you get up to that to your hands, Max.
Could you repeat some of that again? What I had to somehow the microphone cable fell out of the microphone and reconnecting it made the whole conversation go a bit jumpy.
Oh, fair enough.
Everybody's on the floor, but now you've got to come from under the ring and eliminate me.
Yes, so referees. So we're getting to the end of the match sort of sequence. So the referees are going to more directing what's going on. So one's come to you and said, "You need to get up there and eliminate Rhodey Codes."
All right. So while everyone is on the ground, I just sort of roll out from under the apron and just very leisurely get up and under the bottom rope. And maybe at this point, Rhodey is still kind of, groggy and just very, not with it. Getting up, I take the advantage of running up behind, one arm on the back and neck, one arm on the small of the back, pushing over the top rope.
All right. So yeah, Rhodey, tell me, how do you get eliminated in a way that makes you look the best? Of course,
makes me look the best. Oh, I wouldn't put money on that. We are going to see Rhodey go flying over, one foot touching the floor, grabbing hold of the rope to keep the second one up, trying to skin the cat, but there is just too much oil on his hands, so slipping and sliding, down he goes. Yep. Looks furious that the second foot hits, but immediately he looks to the crowd, looks to his son, who he's still slightly worried about after he's getting hit in the face by trousers, lest you forget. And so
I always find trousers amusing.
And so he wanders over to his son, looking to embrace him, not quite in the same way that Titus O'Neil embraced his son. And so he looks for him. He's there and he gives him the biggest hug. But he's still dazed, he's still confused. He's actually just grabbed the biggest of the Elites. And fortunately, Elite's kind of into it, to be honest, so the two of them just make their way to the back.
And that's how you adopt.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Stan, I've sent you a little question on Discord for the which will be relevant fairly soon. All right.
Any response from the Centurion when Spencer was checking in on him?
Yeah, Spencer would be like, yeah, I'm fine, and he kind of looks over to Max Gold and gives a little nod over to him.
All right, so what does commentary think of this newest and close to final elimination? We're down to the final 3.
Sorry, I was just responding to your message. So we are down to 3. The last one to fall there, it was indeed Rody Codes, and he looks to have found a new friend as he makes his way to the back, arm in arm. Oh, it's just magical. I wonder what Randy will say about that backstage. Now we can turn our attention to the 3 who really matter. The 3 who coming into this were probably our favourites to go and face off against Thunderpants. He'll certainly be watching this one in the back, eagerly awaiting who his next challenger will it be. Will it be Max Gold, entrant number 1, still standing after a little bit of time lying underneath the ring? Will it be the Centurion, who has dominated almost all who have stood in his way? The only one he has not been able to dominate so far, it's the newcomer Spencer, the final entrant into the wrangle, looking to be the last man standing.
All right. Nice. All right, so back in the ring, we've got the 2 oily buddies on the floor. Max, I guess you're the only one standing at the moment, so next move is up to you.
So, quick question about Spencer, because I haven't gotten a big introduction yet. Hi, is he a big guy like Centurion is, as far as stature
I
goes?
don't know how big Centurion is, but he's fairly big. Yeah, he's
Centurion gave me a sort of like Luchasaurus size sort of vibes.
he's
Like,
not that big. He's more sort
Not
of
that
like
big, okay.
Triple H sort of region.
gotcha. Okay.
So big,
I
but not
understand-
massive.
Yeah.
But like Luchasaurus, also foolishly tried to start off with a sort of high flying style, but has ceased
Of course.
due to a knee injury and is now trying to
Aw.
transition to more
Aw.
power based.
So yeah, I'm just making sure I've got the vibe that I am the smallest guy in the fight,
Yes.
okay.
and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the Centurion and try to help him up.
Oh. How does the
And
Centurion
I'm-
react to that?
Is that part of the plan? Is that part of the script?
It's not. The moment to moment isn't scripted. It's really just the
Okay.
eliminations that are.
Okay, so the Centurion, I think it would slap his hand away
Ooh.
Too proud.
and goes, "I'm not a coward, and I don't hide like you."
How does
Very
Max
well.
react?
Not well. As soon as these words are uttered, he starts just stomping on the chest of Centurion. Obviously, kayfabe stomps, not actually trying to make dents in his ribcage, but I'm trying to make it look like I'm just really just hammering down on him.
All right. What does commentary make of this tragic turn of events?
Well, that was what seemed like a sign of goodwill from Max, but it was not to be. Centurion just not interested. And now, all sorts of beatdown shenanigans going down. Spencer with a wry smile in the corner.
All right. So this is all kicking off. I think it's time to see what Spencer's doing.
So
Smiling Riley, I just told you.
He can do other things as well. He's multifaceted.
Trust commentary.
He's been, watching for his moment, and he can see as sorry, I'm getting confused. Max Gold, yes, is now sort of hunched over, stomping down on Centurion. This is a perfect moment for him to charge in, grab hold of him, lift him up, to try to slam him down in a spine buster.
All right. Give me one of them pro wrestling moves. Give me 2 dice, and can we get from Max how are you taking this tingling spine buster?
So, because my back is to Spencer as he's setting this up, I'm completely unprepared.
Excellent.
So, yeah. How this is working? Are you like turning me around to pick me up for the spine buster, or?
I was thinking just sort of coming in from the side and then twisting you as you picked you up.
Gotcha. Okay, so I am just making sure that as the rotation is happening, if I'm landing flat on my back, I ready to just go straight down, straight flat. So yeah, I'm just making sure that this move works as smoothly as possible.
Okay, I'd imagine if you're not ready for it,
Good
it's
luck
going to
with
look
that.
somewhat awkward.
My work is -1.
Excellent.
And my rolling's not
Oh,
been
no.
good today.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it. You got a
Oh, no.
3.
Well, frick you.
Change your app. Change your
Yeah,
app.
you need to get whatever app I'm using.
Either way, I'm probably not getting there because I can certainly bring up to 5.
Okay.
And
Well,
then I still can't even reach it with momentum, so it sort of doesn't matter.
so Piers, tell me, how do you screw up the move so bad that you give Max the momentum instead of taking any for yourself?
I mean, I just simply fail to actually pull off that overcomplicated part of the maneuver of turning him first. And so as I try to turn him mid-maneuver, I end up actually losing grip of him. He just gets sort of shoved a little way and mostly sort of lands back on his feet whilst I actually flip over in the oil next to him.
Can I try and fix this a little bit? So can I try and grab one of the arms that was lifting me up, and then get my legs around it to transfer it into a sort of armbar situation?
Okay, so you'll get your momentum from the botch, and yeah, if you wanna, you can do the old slip around. So I guess maybe with the aid of the oil as well as you holding onto his arm, it goes over in a big heap and slams down. What does commentary make of this bizarre transitional sequence of moves? We'll call it generously.
And I'm trying to make it look
bizarre
like
transitional sequence of moves.
All right, so we've we've got a big mess in the center.
Right.
What's Ward doing in terms of Spencer? Sorry, doing in terms of taking this armbar now that he's embarrassed himself in front of everyone.
He's just gonna let it happen and try to land softly. But now he's in it. He's hamming it up, sort of writhing and calling out, going trying to squirm free, but not actually trying to break it.
All right, and Centurion, you've witnessed this bizarre and troubling affair. You've seen perhaps evidence that Spencer may, in fact, be, as you suspected, an unsafe worker in the ring. What do you do now? You also see, so you haven't made it to yet, but the referees, there is a referee coming towards you guys, presumably to indicate which one of you is going to get eliminated next.
I think while that's being decided, the Centurion's going to grab a mic.
he's a talking fellow, he is. All right.
/ part-time wrestler Centurion.
All right, what does the Centurion have to say?
Well, Max Gold. he can wrestle after all. And he goes, I thought you'd run away. Leave him alone. Fight a real wrestler. And kind of opens up his arms.
I love it. All right, cut me another promo. Give me that plus look.
Ooh.
boy.
Okay, I rolled a 3. I get a +2 on look.
You could pay 2 momentum to get to make it not a botch, and then you could get back one of those momentums, or you could just take the botch, which isn't specified for cut a promo, but something bad will happen. Maybe not immediately, but something bad will happen.
Within the game, right?
Who knows?
I'll pay the 2 momentum and gain 1 back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the crowd are sort of middling on the whole affair. So as you get there, So the referee reaches the side of the ring, and whispers into Max's ear. You're gonna be eliminating the Centurion, and do something with that whole slapping thing, because that was fun.
Oh, don't worry, I have plans.
All right, so it's back to Max.
So he's delivering this promo on me as I've got the armbar cinched in. I'm going to break it up. Just stand up, go right up to the Centurion's face. I'm a good bit shorter than him, but I'm just going to go for a meaty just slap across the jaw.
All right, this is going to be one heck of a slap to eliminate him with. So Centurion,
there may be a bit more of a sequence.
Okay, well then, yeah. So tell me, how does the Centurion react to the slap?
You invited it.
Yeah, I think he takes it, and he hasn't been told yet, hasn't he? That Max is gonna win it. So
that's probably going to come across from Max in this next sequence, like in terms of he'll be whispering it to you as it happens, but maybe not yet.
As he gets slapped, he's going to just try and I think he's going to try and return the slap, like just go back to a punch.
All right, so you guys gonna start brawling in the center of the ring?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, what does commentary make? I know I've just been seeing like you've been playing with Doge, so I'm just like, I don't want to disturb you. But what does commentary think of? I guess just the most current events. It's been a while.
So much back and forth between these three mighty athletes, each vying for that most prestigious of title shots. However, now it seems like the action is focused between the man who has been in here the longest, Max Gold, and the man who was denied by BDD last week. This is an important moment on the back of that sternly cut promo. A big old slap to be heard around the world, coming straight for the Centurion.
Okay, so the referees are working overtime around the outside of the ring, and while these guys are going back and forth punching each other in the center, another referee gets to you, Spencer, and says, you're going to go help get Centurion over the top rope as well. So cuts to Spencer's point of view.
So having regained his feet and some of his dignity, he's going to try to get involved in this brawl. The way he's going to go about it is he's going to bounce off the opposite ropes, get a bit of momentum, and come charging in and try and go for the double clothesline.
Ah, nice. Okay, so how do you guys take that?
I try to do that whole backflip thing, so where it looks like you've just been turned inside out.
Ah, excellent. The old Rikishi take, yes.
I think the Centurion is...
I was just trying to imagine Rikishi doing a backward somersault and got really confused.
Yeah, that wasn't the example I would have thought of for me.
No, Rikishi did that all the time. He took somersault
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
It looked really weird, but he would fully somersault when people clotheslined him.
Wow.
I guess that's why it made such an impression. For that to be the first example you brought up.
Oh, I thought you meant an impression on the ground, but yes.
Can I use one momentum to take control as that happens?
Absolutely. So you know what the plans are, but you don't have to necessarily adhere to those plans.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. So as he goes in for the double clothesline, he's going to see Max Gold kind of go with it.
Ready to take it, yeah.
And the Centurion's going to get ready to try and use Spencer's momentum against him and use it to flip him over the top rope.
Oh my gosh! What a bad boy! So it sounds like...
Who do you think you are? Thunderpants?
So it sounds like... let's see. You're considered to be a heel, right? Aren't you?
I'm not a heel, but he was fighting dangerously earlier, and the crowd has been like geeing him up a bit. and I think he wants to please the crowd. He's been let down with
All right,
the fight with
Goldberg.
Big Dick Danae. And he at least wants to take Spencer out, and then he'll throw the rest of the fight.
Okay, so yeah, this is an interesting situation where, from an audience's point of view, this is a good thing. This isn't a heel turn, but you are doing something that usually falls under the heel role. So that would be spending 2 momentum to... I'll say, if you're willing to take this as, while you remain a face on camera, this makes you a heel with management.
Yeah.
Then, if you're okay with that, you can spend that 2 momentum to try and break with what's supposed to be happening in the match and throw Spencer over the top rope.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that.
Okay, so give me that wrestling move to see if you do it. And remember as well, Spencer, you can, once we see what the result of this is, you can spend momentum yourself to try and to interrupt and take back control and make yourself not eliminated if you want to.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's massively backfired.
Guys.
Hooray!
What skill would this be, by the way?
Whatever you like it, wherever you want it to be. It's pretty flexible.
Yeah, it's kind of. It
real,
seems like
isn't
a very real, yeah, because you're breaking the flow of what's actually supposed to be going on.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable.
1.
All right.
Hooray!
So you botch super heavily. So you try and flip him over. I'll tell you what, Piers, Spencer, tell me, how the heck does this turn into you throwing the Centurion out of the ring?
Okay, so I've come in from a clothesline, and Max has just gone down on the left, and then I've been presumably grabbed by the arm by Centurion, who's tried to then sort of turn and toss me over.
He's trying to just use your body weight. So I think he's, as you've gone to clothesline, he's just ducked and put like the weight of your chest onto his shoulder and grabbed hold of your legs.
Also, a judo throw kind of thing.
Okay.
But as he does he's still oily and he hasn't really got a proper grip on you.
All right. So that being the case, because of the slipperiness, I actually go slightly further than you thought I'd go, and end up sitting on top of your head, right? which brings you down, ready for me to put you into a power bomb.
Oh,
power bomb you over the top rope.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that is quite the sequence to imagine. What does commentary make of this? I don't even know where to start.
And neither does commentary. So we have just seen such a set of moves, the mightiest of clotheslines coming out of Spencer, knocking Max Gold for 6, completely laid out. Centurion almost suffered the same fate as well, but quickly attempted the maneuver. However, still playing a part in this game from beyond the grave, the slippery eel substances are enough to swing this one back in Spencer's favor. He jumps up. He's got full control now as he reverses it Canadian Destroyer style into the big powerbomb, looking to dump the Centurion over the top rope.
Alright, I think in the interest of time, we're just going to have that this works. So
You really don't want to risk us rolling dice again?
I think we've got other places to be eventually. So Centurion, what does it look like as you are powerbombed out of the ring and out of contention for the world title?
As he goes out the ring, the momentum makes him tumble, and he just rolls backwards a couple of times before just being sprawled out. I think he hit it with quite a thud, so he's a bit sore, so he doesn't move for a while.
Okay, so you got up to 4 heat, right? It's with with Spencer. So the crowd are going banana, absolutely banana. So you'll gain an extra audience because they are pissed. They wanted to see you take out that mean old Spencer. So with that, do you do anything after you have been eliminated? Just before we kind of draw the curtain on the Centurion for the time being.
I think he just shouts, one-on-one. Next time, face me one-on-one.
Nice. All right.
Am I allowed to do a thing? Am I allowed to do a thing?
Allowed to do a thing?
Yeah.
Could you be more specific about that thing?
Is Thunderpants allowed to do a thing?
You are always allowed to do a thing.
Okay, so as Max and Centurion get ready for their face-off in the middle of the ring, and as Centurion starts to walk back to the back, you just hear a single crack of thunder. Lights go off. Lights come on. Lights go off. Lights come on. Lights go off. Lights come on. It's like when your parents do that thing with the lights, which is really, really annoying. Yeah. And then just suddenly, they're standing face to face with the Centurion. It's Thunderpants. Thunderpants knew what Centurion was trying to do. He knew that he was trying to go against management, just like he did last week. And he just outstretches single hand. It'd be weird if he did it with two, to be honest. Single hand towards the Centurion.
The Centurion kind of pauses and looks at it and goes to take it.
Handshake occurs. Centurion walks to the back, and Thunderpants goes and takes a seat on guest commentary for the final two.
Excellent. All right, so Matt, you're going to take over as lead commentator if you're all right with that.
Okay.
All right, so Matt, hype us up for these final two left in the ring to determine who's going up against El Pants.
And finally, with the Centurion gone, we have the showdown that we've all been waiting for. Max Gold, contestant number 1, has survived in the ring for all this time versus our newcomer, Spencer Walden Baron, the money man, the crowd's least favourite, still hanging on. Surely Max Gold has the experience required to finish the job here.
All right. So can you both tell me what are your momentums currently?
1.
My momentum is 2.
All right. So in that case, Max, you're going to start in control.
Okay. So are we just at a standoff at the moment?
Yes, you're one-on-one. The old circling each other. Camera swoops around, gets to the end of its movable thing, kind of bounces it a bit, and then awkwardly cuts back to the hard camera again.
So I want this to be kind of bookending this match. Mm-hmm. So I immediately go for it would be the collar and elbow, but then instead I go from behind for the waist lock.
Ooh.
And this guy can't do the splits, so he's not getting out of it.
Can't.
What does Spencer do?
I just try to drag Spencer by the waist over towards one of the corners.
All right, what's Spencer doing?
So Spencer's going to try and land some elbows, perhaps not very effectively because he can't really get the purchase, but it's generally going to allow himself to be dragged to the corner.
All right, and what happens next in the corner?
So I go to the side once again so I can push Spencer against the corner, and I immediately just start grabbing at one of the legs to try and lift him.
All right. So the end hasn't been called of the match as of yet. So what does Spencer do?
So I'm sort of facing into the corner, presumably.
You're facing into the ring. I've put you so you've got your back towards the turnbuckles.
The classic, extremely ineffective, push them up the turnbuckle to eliminate the maneuver.
Oh yes.
But you're to the side of me.
I am. Yeah, it's sort of in front, sort of favoring one side. So I'm lifting your right leg.
Okay. I'm gonna
or attempting to.
Yeah. I'm going to try to grab hold of the two ropes and try to lift up my other leg using my right one as a bit of leverage to try and go for a big kick to push you away. Sort of kick to the chest.
All right. How do you take it?
I'll take it. I'll be pushed back a couple feet, just sort of using my feet to grab stop myself from sliding too far, as much as an attempt can be made.
Low friction environment.
But then I'm gonna try and run straight back and almost go for a almost like a spear or just a tackle. It's into the corner.
Okay. Does Walden take this?
Yeah, he's not going to quite be able to get, because he's kicked up and he's coming back down again, so he can't quite respond again in time. So he's just going to get hit square in the torso with that, and then he's just going to slump down a rung of ropes. So he's not all the way down, but he's sort of leaning in the corner on the middle rope.
All right. This seems
So
like...
as
Well, so this seems like a pretty good time for a big maneuver from Max Gold. Have you got anything in the tank?
as Spencer is slumping down, I sort of keep my shoulders in to stop him going too far and lift him back up so his arms are over the top ropes. And I'm going to go for a drop kick right on the chin.
Oof. Okay. Could you give me a wrestling roll for that? Are you trying to eliminate him here?
No, I'm just trying to have a believable sequence of events to try and tire him out so I can eliminate him.
Okay, so sorry, he sat on the turnbuckle, and you're going to sort of drop kick him.
He's not sat on the turnbuckle. He has his arms rested, so he's standing in the corner. Also, I rolled a 5.
Ooh, impressive.
That's not a good number.
What's your
not.
modifier for that one, though?
Well, I'm not. No, that's with my modifier, and I'm not
Ooh.
going to spend momentum, so it's going to stay as a botch.
Oh dear.
I would have
Okay.
to use all my momentum, and I don't want to do that right now.
Yes, I think that's a reasonable move. So let's see. Let's see. So we've got. So when you mess up a move like this, I'm going to do something called a hard move.
Yep.
So, okay. In that case, I'm going to have a referee whisper to Thunderpants on the outside that he needs to go get rid of Max Gold right now from the match. So I'll leave it. So I'll let you think about that for a second. Matt, your commentary. Could you catch us up with what's been going on?
And Max Gold has come up behind Spencer. He's grabbed him in a waist lock and he's pulled him into the corner. He literally has him on the ropes. Surely this is all over now.
Yeah.
Surely this is all over now. Max Gold, he's going in with some punches. He's picking him up, but surely he should have put him out of his misery now. He's going in for the drop kick and that's gone terribly wrong for him. I wonder if Spencer will be able to turn this around now.
All right, so it's Thunderpants. Well, I suppose at this point, so we'll do this in a bit. So, what is Thunderpants doing at this point?
Thunderpants is standing up. Thunderpants is walking towards the ring. Thunderpants is sliding into the ring and straight out the other side. He didn't really quite for the oil. He hadn't experienced it yet. So he's straight out the other side.
We call that a callback, I think.
Looks slightly like nonplussed about it, but he slides back into the ring. Immediately grabs hold of Max sort of as much as he can around probably around the shoulders, I'd say.
All right, commentary. What do you make of this? That's this astounding thing happens.
Oh, and who's just coming out towards the ring now? Oh, and it's Thunderpants. Thunderpants has gone in the ring. He's out the ring again, and he's just come back. He's just come back in. He just can't seem to. He just wants a second helping of Max Gold here. Beating him once wasn't enough, and he's going for him. And how is Max Gold going to react to this?
I don't. He's knackered. Surely he's not got a chance.
All right, well, it's up to Max. If you want
can I finish what I was trying to do first? Because
sure.
Do that so I can have a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. So I've grabbed him by the shoulders. I've pulled him towards the opposite side of the ring to where Spencer was just a moment ago. And I look like I'm about to hurl him over. I'm going to go like that. And I stop. I look at him. I'm going to slide back out the ring and sit back down at the commentary desk.
Oh.
I'm just watching the entire way as he goes back.
Okay, commentary. What in the world just happened?
What in the world has just happened? The audience are so confused right now. It looked like Thunderpanther was going to throw Max Gold out of the ring and beat him the second time, and then he held back. What was this? Was this a threat? Max Gold just staring at him, unsure whether it's a thankful stare or whether he's fuming. But all we know is Spencer in the corner is making a bit of a recovery. I wonder what he's going to do to respond.
All right, Spencer, the spotlight is back on you.
All right. So presumably not too stunned by that otherwise brutal-looking kick to the face. He is going to try to take advantage of Max's being distracted, and he's going to try to come pick him up from behind in a sort of underarm grip, and then try to toss him down in a sort of jumping throwing maneuver that I'm sure has a name I can't think of.
The old jumpy throwy. It's a classic.
Throwy.
All right, I think this makes total sense right now. So give me one of them wrestling rolls of your start of choice.
We're going to go power, I think.
All right, I'm just going to brute him over. It's a 9. Oh gosh, how exciting! All right, so you can either choose to gain momentum, throw an opponent over the top rope, well, that's it, really. One of the two. So,
well, I mean, if I try to throw him off the top rope, presumably I need to do that after this because I've just thrown him on the mat.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were trying to throw him over the top rope.
Yes, I was.
Wow, heel turn from like the actual player here. This is
All right. Well, in that case, you gain +1 heat with Max for doing so. And Max, if you want to spend momentum to not be eliminated, now's the time to do it.
I would quite like that, please.
All right.
Because I haven't had a call as to who is actually winning this yet.
Yeah, you haven't. All right. So if you spend that momentum, so it's a very deliberate actual attempt to get you thrown out of the ring. It's not like a sort of like a I'll hold you while you throw yourself out of the ring. It's a I'm going to push you out of the ring.
Sure.
How do you keep yourself from being eliminated?
So what I would like to see happen, he's going for this suplex sort of maneuver.
Yeah, sort of belly
He's
to belly
got my
suplex
arms.
kind of thing.
I would like to, as I'm going over the top rope, be able to get my hands on the top rope so I actually keep myself on the apron.
Sure.
And then I just punch away to get him further back so I can get back through the ropes and back into the ring.
All right. Commentary.
One momentum.
Yes, that costs you 1 momentum to take back control and not to be eliminated.
Thank you.
All right. So commentary. What do you make of all of this?
Spencer's coming up behind him, and he's grabbing it, and he's using the opportunity to throw him out of the ring. Surely this is it. Surely it's over. But no! Max Gold struggling away, just staying in the ring there. And, well, this is becoming quite the match. No sign of Thunderpants near the ring now. He's just sitting back and watching. Is this it? Is he going to get involved again? Or is this finally over between Max Gold and Spencer?
I think Thunderpants is at the announcer desk, isn't he?
I'm literally sitting next to you, yeah.
Oh, wait, where has Thunderpants gone? Oh, he's right next to me!
It's like he's playing peekaboo with the commentary.
Thunderpants, what do you make of this situation?
Arms crossed,
Oh.
lips sealed, eyes fixed on the ring.
All right. So we're back to the ring again. Max Gold has fought their way back in. Now in control. You guys are on like one momentum each, I think.
I'm on 1, yeah.
I am also on 1.
Oh, it's going to be coming to a close pretty soon then. All right, so Max, what happens next? You've recovered for now.
I would like to stay relatively close to the ropes, and sort of try to slightly gesture a referee over to try and get a feel of what is actually meant to be happening right now.
All right, the referee. Fortunately, you chose to side with the really fat referee. So he looks pissed off when you make him get up from his seat at the side. He kind of wanders over. He's got real stank breath. You don't know what he's been chewing on, but he spits down the side of the ring, and looks up at you and says, "What do you want?"
Which one of us is winning?
He looks at you. He's got like red rimmed eyes, and looks down at his what would be a piece of paper in his hand, but he hasn't got anything in his hands. And looks down and is like, ain't you anymore, boy.
Wow.
And I take that as word. So
All right.
Can he actually have told him that that Thunderpants was meant to eliminate him?
Sure.
we can sure, why not?
Yeah. He would just say, you ain't winning this match. You're supposed to be out already.
And then it kind of clicks with Max. Why?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. That tracks.
All right. What do you want to
So-
do, Max?
So, what I would like to do so I was able to punch Spencer away from the ropes as he's sort of still stumbling a little bit. Now that I'm back in the ring proper, I'm just gonna take a lunge and try to go for like a running elbow strike.
Okay. What are you looking to do with all this?
So, if I can, I will gesture to Spencer to counter this so that I can be eliminated.
Okay. All right, Spencer. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do?
Super kick.
That's the answer to every question.
That's not what I was expecting, but it works.
oh dear.
All right, so that's Spencer's response. Max, I guess you're going over the top rope one way or the other. So how does that happen?
Does that leave you stunned or staggering or on the floor
Yes,
or
so
where are you at?
you hit me with the super kick, and my jaw just goes, and I'm just sort of still on my feet, but just sort of wobbling about, just like completely out of it.
Excellent. I'm going to take that as an opportunity to try and get you out. I'm going to go in for the big crash.
I was gonna say this is probably about a good time for a finishing maneuver.
Spencer's finishing move, which is a fireman's carry cutter.
Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
So I'm going to come in to the sort of staggering around, crouch down, toss you up onto my shoulders,
Yep.
head this end. I'm going to generally sort of like grin at the crowd as I'm maneuvering. So I'm side on, head side towards the ropes.
Yep.
Next to the ropes. Then I'm going to twist, throwing you sort of 90 degrees behind me.
Yeah,
you're
so
being
I'm
tossed
going up-
face
Holly's
down,
going up.
falling
Yep.
behind me over the
Cool.
ropes. And
Alright.
I'm going to also sort of toss myself backwards, landing my back to give that bit of extra momentum.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
so
see
it's
if that works, shall we?
Yeah,
Hooray!
give me that roll.
Goodness.
What? From 2 dice. Oh.
Okay. Let's have a look at your finishing thing then. So on a botch,
Choose an authority figure interferes and calls the match in my favour on a technicality or a last minute change to the booking from backstage and your opponent wins the
okay.
match.
No, I can see how this works. So, you screw it up badly enough that you end up getting taken over the top rope with him.
Ah.
So you both tumble
Our
out.
torn quad's coming.
Yes, there's grievous injuries in your future. So you both fall out of the ring. I guess Max kind of hits the apron on the way down because you end up both hitting the ground at pretty much the same time. There's a silence in the arena, and what does commentary do to cover this very unexpected happening?
And here it is. Spencer comes up behind Max Gold and looks like he's going to be using... Is this a signature move of his? We're not sure yet. But
I am woefully underinformed.
This is the most elaborate move he's tried so far. He's lifted him up over his shoulders and... Oh, it's gone horribly well. They've both gone over. I didn't see it. I couldn't call it. Who went over first? Thunderpants, did you see who went over first?
So let's put the mic down. I walk over to a little podium on the side where the championship belt is. Pick it up, and I walk into the middle of the ring.
All right.
Oh, what a claim there by Thunderpants. He sees it as... He's saying there's no victor, that he is already champion. And what's happening with Max Gold and Spencer? Are they injured? Are they okay?
Okay, that's a good point. At this point, the EMTs rush out with the old stretchers, because why not? And start strapping in both wrestlers who, as the crowd reacts sympathetically, possibly, maybe, who knows. In fact, why don't you both work the audience to see if they how they feel about your presumed horrible injuries you just sustained.
So plus audience, I got a 10.
Nice.
8, including audience.
Okay, so James, you get 2 momentum, and Pete gets 1. So the referee, seeing that the audience are reacting much more strongly to Max's incarceration in this, decide to... I'm trying to keep track of... That's right, yes, you were having it decided in your favour by an authority figure, weren't you, actually, for the previous thing? Okay, scratch that. The fat referee you pissed off before, comes over to the stretchers, helps tighten up Max's ones by really putting a boot on him and pulling it really tight, and then from Ward's stretcher, undoes one of his arms and raises Ward's arm up in the air to indicate his victory. Commentary, what do you make of this debacle?
I really can't make head nor tail of who's going to be winning this one. And the referee's raising Spencer's hand. Spencer is the winner. What a surprise! Some in the crowd are not happy about this decision. Probably more in favour of Max Gold there.
They're really riled up.
And it seems as well that Vodi's dog has come back into the ring. Vodi's dog is furious. The crowd seem to be much more happy now. And it appears the dog's gone into the ring and joined Thunderpants. How is he going to react to such an event?
Nice.
Oh, that's how.
He's put down the belt. He has picked up the dog as his own.
Oh my gosh! This is a
It's
twist.
just been announced anyway, and I can't.
This is all happening. This is what has happened. He's put down the belt. He's picked up the dog. Spencer, the spotlight's on you. It's up to you what you want to do now. You're officially in the match with Thunderpants, and possibly a dog.
We're just into the championship match
Yep.
now.
You hear the bells sound, ding ding.
Well, before the bell sounds, can I grab a microphone?
Yeah.
Okay, you can sound the bell now. So I have no clue what on earth management are thinking, trying to boss me around yet again. Watching Max Gold get robbed of that, worse than he was robbed by me last week, has made me angry. I'm practically thunderous.
Oh,
It's
I
a-
like it.
Electric atmosphere here tonight. He says, pointing in the direction of the E-lights.
Nice.
Who will just suddenly start cheering, throwing oil towards the ring. And me, and this doggo here, we're finally ready for some action. If you're the one I have to beat, Spencer, so be it. Let's start this thing.
All right. Well, I'm a bit stunned and oily, but I'm generally kind of happy about the situation.
Oh no, the boxing dog. Triple
Is the
threat.
dog clear, or is the dog still moving out of the ring?
I mean, the dog is apparently boxing towards the Harkam, so it might be a triple threat. It's unclear at this point.
Well, so I think Spencer, he may be a heel, but he's not like an animal hater. So he's gonna get in the ring and he's going to sort of gesture to try and get you to shoo the dog out.
Oh, apparently
The dog was not happy about it.
you're
The dog
blurry
has-
lines here.
The dog has clawed Thunderpants on the leg, leaving a considerable scar. And immediately been replaced by a twin dog.
Oh, the most devious storyline of all.
In that case, Spencer's going to grab the mic and say, I don't know what kind of circus you're running around here to wrestle with animals. Let's do this. And throw the mic out at the crowd.
Clonk. That was expensive. Also,
He's got
lost
no
it.
regard for the value of things.
All right, so for this last match, James, you could be, if you wouldn't mind being on lead commentary and Matt on backup commentary.
Okay.
All right, so you guys, presumably the dogs have dispersed at this point to chase their hopes and dreams. Maybe they'll come back. Who knows? They might run interference during the match. It's quite likely, actually.
Were there ever actually any dogs?
Who can say? Who can say? We're live and we don't tape it. All right, so I'm gonna say, who's got the most momentum right now?
Well, I have two, I think. Let me go back to my thingamabob. I have two.
I have one.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have three, apparently. I have apologies. I'm on the wrong person. That's Max Gold. Max Gold had 3 momentum the last time.
What a hero!
Uh,
Oh, do remember, guys, that Centurion and Max Gold can very much get involved in this next match if they want to.
I have 2 momentum.
Okay, so we're gonna start things off.
Sorry, name forgetting. Spencer. Did Spencer end up with an actual injury on the back of that one, or was it all?
Oh
kind of
no,
cake?
it was all totally kayfabe.
It's kayfabe, yeah.
So yes, so running maneuvers are of course available for our other characters, but so Thunderpants, you guys are both down the ring. Dogs temporarily absent. How do you start off this crucial world title match?
Well, got to start as any classic world title feud starts, with a bit of a pose off. So just go.
Oh boy!
Waiting for the audience cheer.
All right, is Spencer going to join in with this blatant disregard for actual wrestling?
No, he never likes to let a good opportunity to sucker punch someone go.
Nice. Okay, so tell me how it happens. So there's a pose from one side, presumably a gesture to match with a pose of your own, but the pose is with your fist.
Yeah. So what muscle pose are you using? At
I was-
Mark 7 exactly.
The old Randy Orton.
I've just turned towards the audience.
Okay. So in that case, it's going to be not a sucker punch, but a sucker side kick to the gut.
Ooh.
So sort of stomp up and then side kick to the gut.
All right. Just because this has got the possibility of entertainingly go wrong, could you give me a wrestling maneuver of some kind?
Oh, sorry. You want me to follow that up with a maneuver?
Oh no, just roll the dice to see how that goes.
Sorry, I'll be. Yep. What are we calling this as a type? What's the
Uh,
modifier for it?
It's not really.
It's not quite a mud hole stomp.
I guess it's just the old punch key, isn't it? Really.
It's probably
That's-
just power, isn't it?
General.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I guess his power will work, but
Okay,
7, 8.
all right.
Count.
So you give him the old 1-2. So tell me how it happens. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, decision to be made. So either you can keep control of the narrative, which is I'm assuming you are in at the moment, or you can gain momentum and give the narrative control back.
I will do that.
Okay, so tell me how do you start things off, and let's Stan end up with how he ends up back in control to end it.
So we're going to go into the big kick to the stomach. Then presumably that's going to sort of fold you over towards me. I'm going to then grab you by the nearest arm and Irish whip you into the ropes behind me to try and build up some momentum towards me to go for a move.
All right, Stan, I think you're up.
cool. So I take the hit, look slightly peeved by it, kind of give a as the Irish whip begins. Rather than attempting any kind of reversal of the Irish whip, I purely use that momentum, bounce back straight into a Luthez press, jumping fully onto you, knocking you down, and looking to land some punches to the face.
All right, commentary. What do you make of this shocking display of poor sportsmanship?
Well, we're going to be starting this match off, but Thunderpants wants to have the control going straight out of the gate, and he's looking to pose off against Spencer. How is Spencer going to react to that?
Matt?
What's going on? I was just looking at the dogs. There was one dog, and then there was two dogs. And then...
Is this commentary, Matt, or is this actual Matt?
I mean, why not both? Why not both?
Okay.
There were two dogs. I'm really confused because they both looked the same, but they were different.
Doggiest.
And if anybody in the audience has found these dogs, if we could bring them back, that would be fantastic.
So, Spencer, he's not taking off in this pose off at all. He's just going to go for a sucker punch right onto the jaw of Thunderpants. And he goes for the Irish whip, but it's reversed into a Luthez press, and he looks like he's going to try and get some strikes in.
And there are still no sign of the dogs returning. The audience is outraged.
All right. So I'm glad we got someone on Dog Watch.
Where's the dogs? Where's the dogs?
Where are my dogs at? All right. So I guess at this point, Thunderpants is still in control. What happens next?
Yeah, I'm just going to go for the classic 10 punches to the face. Yeah, want them to hurt as much as possible.
Is that with us both on the ground? Or?
Yeah, so I'm sort of still on top of you. Now I'm just going to boom, 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 boom. Give it one of them.
So I'm just going to try and turtle up and try and deflect some of these blows.
Fair enough. In which case, as the last one lands with not as much impact as I would have liked, I get back up, wait for you to get to your feet so I can go in with a running big old clothesline.
All right. Yep. Are you gonna? Well, I assume Spence. Well, so if you ever want to take back narrative control, you can spend the momentum to do so. But otherwise, I'm assuming you're going to be taking any of these moves that come your way until we get to the bigger moves.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the clothesline and I guess go back down to the mat with a big slap onto the ground with a bit of a splash.
Still oil around the top.
It's the everlasting oil. All right, Stan. It sounds like a good.
It's just going to be like entitled "Oil and Dogs," which frankly is not a good YouTube title.
No.
I think it's the best YouTube and the only YouTube title I'm using. It's accurate.
So
I'm starting to look pretty confident. Not only am I the fresher man in the ring, but there. So I'm just going to go back into the corner, and I just want to keep working the audience, get the poses going again.
All right.
Trying to build up some heat for the crowd, I guess.
Okay. So they were denied the poses before, but now they're going to get them. Commentary, what do you make of this whole?
Spencer went down to the ground with a mighty thud, and it's just been struck on over and over again. And Thunderpants is going to take this opportunity to get right back into the posing. Really get the crowd on his side in this situation.
I've come to the realization that it's not just vegetable oil that's being used, but there is a slight hint of coconut as well. And my question is, where did the eel get that?
Well, regardless,
it must be amazing for your skin.
That's exactly what I was about to try and say, but there you go. I'll let you take it. I'll let you have that one.
Boy. All right. So yeah, work that audience roll plus audience.
So my audience is 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've only rolled once so far, and it's a 12, so it's going to end badly. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, it does end badly.
We're back to form.
All right. So yeah, assuming you don't even have enough momentum to spend that.
I guess. I mean, what is it 7 that you have to get for the?
Yes, to not have a botch.
Technically, I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Let's find ourselves our list of harder moves again. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
So I had a 5 in total. Yeah.
So Spencer, because of course wrestling is nothing but delaying gratification as much as possible. The actual posing and things across the audience actually goes across very well, as you'd expect. But as they're posing, that big ref. Actually, someone give me a name for big snarly referee, because he's going to be a
big snarly referee.
I mean, that could be his title, but he needs a name.
I have
as well.
a suggestion: Jackass Johnson.
Jackass Johnson. Okay. All right, Jackass Johnson sidles up to the ring and says, "You're going over right now." To Spencer. So it's back over to Spencer again, you're on the map. You've got a pose down happening with the audience.
So whilst this posing's going on, I've staggered up to my feet. And I've decided I'm going to charge at him, but I'm also going to yell at him en route so he knows that I'm coming.
Ah, very clever.
I'm quit messing around.
Is that what you're yelling?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are officially booked to win the match, though it's things have been accelerated somewhat from where they were initially going to be.
Do you mean Thunderpants or Spencer?
No, Spencer has been officially booked to win
I misread that as over the rope. I was setting myself up.
Would like to make an interference.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So
what momentum does this cost?
Let's see. So we're looking for a run-in. Let's see. I'm gonna have to quickly look up what it is again. So it's a specific move you can make. So it doesn't always necessarily go well. So tell me, how does your run-in come to be?
So what I would like to do, I've been stretching out.
Yeah.
And as I head back down the ramp, I'm hobbling a little bit, still trying to sell any potential injury from earlier.
Okay, so you're coming back down the ramp.
Yeah, go back down the ramp. What I'm going to do first is go around the ring, right up to Jackass Johnson, and hit him with a super kick.
Oh man, are you interfering on the referee, or you're?
He's a referee. He's not the referee in the ring. He's the referee at the sidelines, right?
Yes, because this has kind of gone from so there was a bunch of referees around the outside for the Regal Rumble.
For the Wrangle, yeah.
But okay, so are you running in to help a particular person, or are you running, I guess, against a specific person?
So, if anything, I'm running in against Spencer.
So you're okay. What are you actually? Just tell me, what are you trying to accomplish? What's your ideal outcome?
My ideal outcome is Thunderpants wins.
Because so when you run in, if you hit someone, their opponent gets disqualified. So
well, if I'm hitting the referee first, they don't know who I'm on the side of.
That's true. Okay, let's say for the sake of argument, all the other referees have gone to sleep. They're like little lambs by the side of the ring.
You hit one and they all go out.
Yes, they have a hive mind.
Say, before anything else, my primary goal is to get back at Jackass Johnson. That doesn't go on the side of that doesn't go on the side of either wrestler. So they have just figure it out from there.
So let's see. I think if you're gonna, are you attacking him because you're legitimately pissed off with him? Are you actually trying to hurt him?
I'm not trying to hurt him. This is This is a story-based thing I'm trying to go for.
Okay.
So
continuation of him taking the win away.
So Peter, how about if so obviously he's almost starting like a little feud with the ref, but if his long-term hope is that I win from it, maybe what Pierce is about to do, we get both get distracted, and then there's a possibility for me to regain momentum, maybe out of
that would probably be more the direction I go in. Yeah.
Okay.
That's more the intent.
Okay, so if you roll plus heat, I presume that you're really coming after Spencer ultimately.
In the end, yeah.
So if you roll 2 dice plus heat, and we'll see. Basically, we're going to see if you botch this primarily.
I technically have no heat with Spencer at the moment.
You'll have +1 if nothing else.
Okay. So I rolled +1 is an 8.
Okay. So you gain 1 momentum, and your target picks 1. So
okay.
We're gonna have to work this out in such a way. So basically, this is going to be the start of a feud between the two of you. So, Piers, you get a choice here. Either Well, actually, I'll just read what the choices are. So either you attack them in the ring, resulting in their opponent getting DQ'd, and they win the match. The interference doesn't change the results of the match, but you will have a match together another time, we'll say, because it's kind of the end of the show. Or the interference doesn't change the results of the match, but the person who's being interfered on will come after the person who interfered for getting in their business. Okay. Sorry if that's a bit confusing. So one option where you're going to end up winning by DQ because of the attempted interference, and we'll just have to figure out how that happens, or where the interference ultimately doesn't work, and it leads to either you guys having a match or a backstage altercation.
Okay. So I think we'll have it not determine the match, and we'll have a backstage altercation about it.
Okay. Yep. So tell me how that happens. Any of you guys can pitch in on this.
So you're coming in and attacking the big fat ref, is that right?
That's pretty much all I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going around the ring to where he is, hitting him with a super kick.
But because you succeeded in your role, I'm going to take control back as we both get distracted, right?
I'm mostly doing this as a distraction. Yes.
Yeah, but the distraction works, which means that
that works.
So I'm running at you,
and then kind of corner of your eye, you're seeing what's going on, and I'm gonna take that opportunity to evade if possible. Mm-hmm. And it's at this point where I'm seeing how angry everybody is. I've seen how angry Centurion was earlier on, getting screwed over, making his sort of attempt at a turn. I've seen now how this is going to be yet another person with gold getting screwed over. He's come back out, and I'm just filled with righteous vengeance, and I'm now out not just to win, not just to put a pay to plans, because I know I'm meant to lose this match. I always knew I was meant to lose this match. I was meant to lose the semi-final last week.
And at this point, I'm not just out to ruin management plans. I'm out to ruin your face. So I'm just going to try and turn it into a nose-breaking finisher, which is called the thing that it's called.
Ah.
I mean,
What does it involve?
I'm trying to think.
It's basically a bulldog RKO. It's called...
Oh, like a sort of running stunner kind of thing.
Yeah, there we go. It's called the deadbolt. So basically, as you're running, I'm turning that momentum. I'm dragging you all the way back around, going for the face straight down, specifically trying to really crush your face into the mat.
So
nothing personal.
Okay, so we've got a couple of things here, which is I think we can just do 2 rolls. This isn't specifically in the system, but I think it works. So
and I will, if I hit it, I will look for the pin as well.
Yes, no, that's fine. So we'll do it if you're trying to legitimately hurt Spencer, then we're going to do that as a break kayfabe roll to see, firstly, if that works. If this doesn't go well, this could end up with the maneuver going prematurely being cancelled. So go for it. That's I think that's a plus real. You got 9. What's your real?
1, so 10.
Okay, so you gain +1 audience as they hear. Well, we'll see. We'll kind of put this all together in a minute. But basically, yeah, the whole looking to hurt him aspect of it will happen irrespective of whether or not your move goes off properly. In fact, it may even be more likely if the move doesn't go off correctly. So, give me a finishing maneuver. So that's 2 dice straight, and you can use momentum to pump it up. Oh, double 6, darn! That is some serious business. So you can choose whether you gain +1 audience or your opponent does.
There must be some further element to
Sorry,
that.
what? Sorry, what now? Why would I choose my opponent to have +1 audience?
I'm not
that makes
totally
literally
clear.
no sense in my head whatsoever.
Like, that also determines who wins or something.
I don't know. It's a little bit weird. I'll tell you what, because that doesn't really make too much sense. I'm gonna say that both of you guys, because this looks so freaking brutal, I'm gonna say that you can have both of you guys gain an audience off it because it's just more interest in it. So tell me what because this actually, yeah. So what it will be is this moment will go viral because it looks so incredibly brutal. And people just watch it again and again in slow motion and rewind it backwards and forwards and things. So can you tell me, what do you... from Stan's point of view and then from Piers' point of view, what happens? What is this incredibly awful, terrifying looking deadbolt that happens?
So, running, got their head, holding onto it even tighter than normal and really just trying to invert it. So imagine the head is here and sort of the body's there. So it's just pulling straight down. Bridge of the nose hits the canvas.
Oh, owie. All right, Pit. What's this look like? From
I kept it like quite mild.
Yeah, I think it's the space that lets you imagine it more though.
So to all of those of you watching this out there in the future, spot the psychopath in the group.
All right, what's it look like from Spencer's point of view?
Spoiler: he's down in the bottom right corner.
That's the left.
My screen is
different on each screen, I think, isn't it?
But you were pointing in the right direction, though, so good job for that.
Well, so Spencer's not expecting any of this, so
No.
he's certainly not able to sort of fend it off because he's got terrible reel. So he just goes down with it, but looks genuinely like pissed off and upset and annoyed because he's supposed to be getting this win. And then all these people keep messing with his match, messing with his face, getting oil on him. So he's like lying on the ground, clutching his face, looking simultaneously sort of a bit shocked, but also like really pissed off.
you get the whole thing where it's like you're supposed to be unconscious, but your face is like. All right, commentary. What do you make of this?
Johnson seems to be giving some kind of direction to Spencer. Is he in on this somehow? Wait a minute. Wait. That's Max Gold.
Oh, and using the distraction there, Thunderpants is able to. Oh, he's weighing in on Spencer. He's making a real mess of this. And I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
While my colleague goes and pukes his guts out, he just got hit with a deadbolt. This could be it.
All right. So I'm assuming. Well, Stan, assuming at this point you wanted to go for the pin.
Truth.
All right. So it's up to you, Piers. You can, if you like, spend your momentum to not stay down for the 3, even though I'd like you to tick an injury box for having taken a legitimate injury there.
Sure.
So you can use your last momentum to try and continue this match, though there's a decent chance it could turn into a legitimate fight at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm going to spend momentum.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's not super surprising.
All right, Matt, could you give us an exciting 1, 2, but not a 3 count?
Oh, and he pinned him down and 1, 2. Surely this is over. Oh, and he's pulled out. He's pulled out. Spencer is moving. How is he still moving after all of this?
By hook or by crook, Spencer Walden Baron is going to make sure he comes out of this the first world champion.
All right, so Piers, it's back over to Spencer. You've got the potentially broken nose. I don't know, actually, how does Thunderpants react to this kick out?
He doesn't even look, he looks slightly shocked, slightly perturbed, but then he just stands up. He just goes...
Oh, right into the face, eh? Alright, Spencer, you're almost spent. This is your last chance. How are you going to salvage this somehow?
I'd just like to throw one thing. Max Gold has left the ringside area by this point.
Okay.
Just went quietly, but through the crowd.
Excellent. Alright.
Yeah, well, recognizing that this is probably going to be more of a bit of an actual... sorry, I just had a notification pop up. More of an actual fight. Spencer decides not to get too fancy with things, and just tries to go in for a grapple, a tackle rather on Thunderpants.
Okay.
So he's just gonna dive at him, try and grab him around the waist, and wrestle him down to the ground.
All right. So in this case, I guess you actually, let's see, you could go for, if you're going for just pure wrestling, because I think we're kind of like throwing away some of the mechanical ideas here. If we're just going for a legit fight, so you've got either if you're trying to hurt him, that's going to be real, which I think is pretty terrible for you, but. This is definitely not your wheelhouse, getting into an actual brawl with people. I guess you could go for work if you wanted to try. I think you could probably legitimately try and hurt someone with work as well.
He's not necessarily trying to actually beat him up. He's trying to wrestle him down and force him into a pin, and just overpower him to win the match.
Okay.
Rather than necessarily win a fight in terms of trying to beat him up style.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. All right, I can give you a power wrestling roll for that then.
Okay.
That's 7.
8, I think.
Okay,
4,
so
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
So I'd like to hear what you guys. So as you kind of get caught up in this kind of what actual move are you doing? It's like a particular one, or just kind of
It's not like a showy wrestling. Pro wrestling thing. It's more like an amateur wrestling
okay,
takedown.
So it's Gerald Briscoe versus Pat Patterson in the nightwear match where they like grab each other and they're just rolling around the ring at this point.
All right, what do you guys say to each other while you're caught in this deadly embrace?
Moist.
The deadliest of all weapons.
Spencer's just going to say, just take the pin, mate.
And I'm going to be like,
force him down to it.
No, you.
Throw that reverse guard on.
Now that's Uno. All right. So you can with that roll, you can either keep control of the match or you can gain momentum and give it back again.
Well, I'm trying to push him down for a pin.
Oh, you try? Okay.
I'm going to keep control and try and push him into a pin from that position. I've tackled him down.
Okay. Oh man, it's getting into the areas where I'm like, I don't know what the hell's to go for here. All right. I tell you what. If you're trying to pin him down legitimately, am I right in assuming that Thunderpants is not going to lay down at this point?
He absolutely is not.
So I think we're going to make up a mechanic, which is if you give me depending on how you want to do it, either it's plus real if you just want to try and get out by kind of like by actually kind of like physically forcing your way out, or plus work if you want to try and use technical stuff to do it. I don't think you're really realistically big enough to sort of hold him down by just body weight.
Okay.
So if you guys do opposed rolls with each other with your stat of choice, depending on how you want to do it.
So what am I choosing? I'm choosing out of what? Sorry.
Either plus real if you're, or plus work if you want to. Real is.
Sorry, I didn't hear what Piers said. Sorry.
I'm going to try and use my work skills.
Okay, so he's going to try and do some kind of technical pin, which will be legitimately hard to get out of. So either you can just like try and punch him in the side of the head or something, which would be.
Wait, that was. Yeah.
Oh,
so I'll do that, and I'll use. So I am going. Oh, so we've both done equally badly, basically.
Okay. So what's your totals?
My total was 6, and your total was 5, I think.
I rolled a 6. With -1 for work for 5.
And I rolled a 5 with a +1, so yeah, mine was 6, his was 5. I could add momentum if it helps.
Yeah, if you guys have got any momentum, now's the time to toss it in.
I mean, yeah, I guess I can do that and just, pop one of my momentum onto it to make a 7.
Have you got? I don't think you've got any spare Piers, have you?
I have 1. So I can't get up to 7.
Okay. So we're going to draw this to a close here. Thunderpants, tell me, how do you turn this technical pin into a reversal that lets you get the pin?
Very simply, know how knackered he is, use my power, because I'm still legitimately trying to hurt him, so just is it a Northern Lights pin you said?
I don't know if, Piers, did you have anything specific in mind?
Did you say what kind of pin it was?
No, just like
just generic pin.
Simple, unsophisticated.
Amateur pin, I guess, is the
I'll land a quick right hook all the way across, straight into the side of your chest, trying to crack a few ribs, but not quite managing it. And to knock you off. At which point, I go to pick you straight back up to go for another deadbolt.
All right, give me another finisher roll.
That's just 2D, yeah?
Yep.
That's an ad. It's fair to say, I did not pay for this dice app. 6, and I can add 1 momentum to that, right?
Yes, if you've got 1 spare.
I have indeed, so that's my 7. So.
Okay, so you choose. Either you win clean, and you both get momentum, or you win by a sort of technicality and gain +1 heat with your opponent.
Can I choose for a 3 count to be made by who's it? Matt, who's the ref, and then to something dubious to happen?
Sure. I'm trying to think of what it would be.
Ooh, I've already thought of it.
Okay. Yeah. Shoot.
So I'm going to try and win clean by 3, basically.
Okay. Oh right. Okay. Yeah.
Count the 3, basically.
Okay. So what was this guy's name? Jackass Johnson. Of course.
He's back on his feet.
Yes, recovers at the most dramatically appropriate time to slither back into the ring and count. Matt, could you give us the full 3 count? As we have the mat smeared with various fluids.
Sorry, Pete. I lost you then. You were breaking up a bit.
Oh, could I get the full 3 count from you, Matt?
Oh, sure. So Jackass Johnson. Sorry, no, not Jackass. So the ref has gone into the ring, and there we go. We can see it now. It's Thunderpants has been able to pin down Spencer, and it's 1, 2. Surely
Clap of
this is
thunder. Clap of thunder. Lights go out. Lights come back on again. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Mum's switching the lights on again. On the final one, you see that Thunderpants is just laying prone on his back, in the ring. Spencer's crawling towards him with his last bit of strength.
Interesting.
In.
Gone for the pin. I've got no momentum.
All right. Roll me finish appears, I guess.
What just happened? I have no.
What on earth was that?
This was so much more simple when the dogs were here.
Oh no! It came back. There was a dog interference.
Blame for God of mischief. Like,
Oh.
We got 1 dog that's approaching the ring again. We got another one. It appears to be by the light switch.
They're working together. They're a tag team.
The dogs are messing with the breaker.
All right,
That explains
Piers.
a whole lot more now. This whole scenario now makes complete sense. Mystery solved.
All right, Piers. I guess roll me a finish. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
All right. I'm going to go in and try and get my pin.
Yay!
All right.
Presumably, having then won that, I'm going to snatch up the belt and the mic.
All right.
And,
What do you got to say?
I'm going to say, people of Glasgow, you have borne witness to the historic rise of SWB over all of these useless pretenders. And then I'm going to hold up my championship belt.
All right. We've run to 3 hours, so I guess this is as good a time to call it to an end. But yeah, I think that's a good image to end the show. We can do like post show stuff maybe at the beginning of our next session, rather than extending this one further. But yeah,
sure.
Thank you guys so much. So there we go. We've got our first world champion, and thank you guys so much for playing.
Thank you, man.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you all.
we'll see you guys next time on Woof Vision, World Woof Wrestling. Yeah, and we're out.